WFKN. My app keeps crashing on this, the thing that he told me to download.
Yeah.
Check. Private group. Your displayed name will be Tally.
This is a good officiating crew.
Is it?
I don't think they throw a lot of flags. The older the guys, the less they care about the spotlight, the quicker you get. Ricky down there, he's at the 30-yard line walking in. This is his 49th year officiating.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I'm like, why? He looks like he lost some weight, too. Man, dude always got a smile on him. You can cuss that guy up and down, and then he's got a smile on his face. He don't get frazzled by nothing either. I don't know if he's insane or just actually happy.
This app sucks. Like, it's my phone won't even, like, try to connect me to the...
30, 28. You got a pretty good band, looks like. Well, no, it's not that big. No, it's just a drum line.
Yeah, I know their band director. He does a good job.
Who is it? I don't know if I know.
His name is Jared Sales.
Well, that's just the guy down there on the grill. I went to high school with him. I was like, he looked familiar. He said his son, which I doubt it's like his son. I said it's a stepson or something, but he's saying, we moved down by South Warren, but they wanted to stay here for the band.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody gets a choice between South Warren and Warren Central, it's usually not a hard choice.
This is kicking me off every time I try to log on. It's like the app is closing down. Well, it might be a shorter pregame tonight.
That'd be all right. They won't fire you. Well, I guess they will.
Yeah.
It'll be your only game. Yeah, I guess you're fired either way. I don't know.
It was doing this last night when Tyler and I tried it. It won't let me like connect to a group for some reason.
Are you able to just call her?
I don't know the number though.
See if I can Google one. Oh, you got one?
I've got Kendra's. I guess she is there.
I can write it down.
Hey, is this Kendra? All right, I was told you weren't working tonight, so I was really confused on who was texting me. I cannot. This app keeps on crashing every time I try to connect to the WFKN. So I'm going to try it one more time, and then if not, can I call in like old school? What's the number? All right, thanks. And I'm gonna try the other thing while you're doing that again. Bye. 1 year, Kendra, something was going wrong. Kendra had to pull the audio from
I think I remember you
the
saying
live stream.
Yeah.
Press connect button to start connect. Group name is WFKN. Connect.
She's a wonder. I've never met her. I wouldn't know her if I saw her in public.
I don't think I've ever met her in public either. I wonder if that other phone in there would have that app on it already.
Or is the phone in there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But it's probably dead.
Oh, yeah.
Could you reach? I get it. See if it's dead or not. Oh, it's deader than doornail.
Warren East is up 14-7 on Greenwood.
Really?
Yeah. I expect Greenwood may be down. You never, I mean, I don't know if they ran out there. You know he can't be good for forever.
No.
Now some people are texting in the wrong group.
Oh, Lord.
I'll get both of them then.
Hey. Yeah, it was still crashing out every time. It was working last night, but I'm not going to fool with it any longer today. All right. Whenever you're ready, I guess we'll take it over.
Oh, 6:50 is the anthem.
Okay. And this is 92.3 now. It's different than the last time.
You shut that door.
It doesn't. The
It
lock
won't
is.
I don't know if it'll help with sound or not.
That's about as first. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to 92.3 WFKN. My name is Aaron Talley, and I will be filling in for Tyler Eaton tonight. But luckily, I only lost one Tyler. I still got another Tyler with me tonight. We are at Warren Central, where the Wildcats are looking to go 2-0 on the season. Here as they take on the Warren Central Dragons at Warren Central High School. And, you know, we had some showers coming up, and I was kind of worried that we might get rain on tonight, but it has turned into a beautiful night here tonight.
Absolutely, man. This weather is wonderful. I was sweating bullets last night at a middle school football game, and this is beautiful weather. You couldn't ask for a better weather, better facility, better people. We ran into the nicest people so far here at Warren Central. Hopefully, they may be a little bitter at us at the end of the game. Hopefully, if Franklin Simpson runs up, has a good game, runs up the score, not in a bad way, but just looking for a great football night here.
Many games going on around the area tonight, and we'll try to keep you updated as best as we can. If you're listening on the radio tonight, we want to apologize for the sound quality. The software that we normally use to connect back to the station was not cooperating with us, and it crashed 5 or 6 times, and that's why we're a little late getting on the air. So we had to do it old school and call in on the phone line, and that's how we're on the air tonight. So you will see a slight decrease in quality, so just be patient with us. We'll try to do everything the best that we can tonight. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll break down last week's game versus who did we play? Davies County. I wanted to say Warren East, but I forgot we were
at Warren East.
When we come back, we'll break down the game versus Davies County last week at Warren East and look at some stats and talk about this game tonight. You're listening to 92.3 WFKN. All right, on the sheet that I have, it says a 4-minute or 3-minute break, and we'll probably just keep that because Aaron isn't as long. Oh, it's 2 minutes? Okay. Aaron isn't as long-winded, so we can keep all the breaks the same. I do have some stats from last week.
Is that what you're going to? Okay.
I might read some stats, and then you can just talk about the game in general. Uh-oh, that camera went down. Hey, Kendra, keep it for just a second. I should be back before the 2 minutes is up, though. My camera died upstairs. All right, I'm back. Well, at least the feedback isn't as bad whenever you call it in this way.
Yeah. Hey, does Emma know where all she can stand and can't stand?
I told her she can't go past the thick white line, so hopefully she's.
Okay, hopefully she's. Tell her not to worry about getting too close.
Yeah.
I've had people, Doug was here, like Channel 13 got a sideline warning on him for being in the. And Doug was not happy. He told him to go to the other side. And they're like, seriously? He's like, yeah, I'm serious. Get over there.
Back here at Warren Central, the Wildcats coming off of a 31-13 win last week versus Daviess County. And really, I mean, I know final score is what it is, but it was kind of a, Hail Mary, throw to the end zone, see what happens kind of play. So really could have been a 31-6 win there for the Wildcats as Daviess County threw one in the end zone as time expired. The Wildcats did what they do best. They ran for 237 rushing yards. They allowed 103. Wildcats had 69 passing yards, and they allowed 83. Brady Dale, he only completed 3 out of 14 passes last week for 69 yards and threw 1 interception. Wildcats, Blake McPherson and Colin Anderson both rushed for 82 yards last week, and Lane Alford kicked in 55. What were kind of, from your football mind, what were kind of the keys to the victory that the Wildcats did last night that they'll try to do again tonight?
Yeah, whenever they were able to win against Daviess County, they just pounded the football. The line dominated the game. They dominated, the offensive line dominated Daviess County's defensive line, and Franklin Simpson's defensive line dominated Daviess County's offensive line. Just that simple. And we were undersized, and I believe that Franklin Simpson's going to be undersized tonight. But even so, you got to know your strengths. And Franklin Simpson's strengths on the offense and defensive line is their speed and their quickness and ability to get off the ball and their aggressiveness and their mindset. So that's something that they're going to key in tonight as we go on. Got some young guys playing, and they're stepping up, doing a great job on the lines. And that's who I give credit to. And the running backs, I mean, they did run the ball hard, but at the same time, I believe that game was on the line.
Yep. One thing that kind of, I don't know if it was a shocker, you just never know what your special teams are going to be like. Brody McAllister went 4 for 4 last week. I think Coach Cheney talked about that post-game.
Yeah, he did. Brody McAllister, man, just coming in his first high school football game as a kicker. He's a sophomore. He's a soccer player playing on the soccer team, only at practice on Wednesdays. And he's only at practice on Wednesdays and Thursdays during the week, but he does a really good job, works hard for the Franklin Simpsons football team, kicking the football. And he had that really nice field goal on the hash and was able to angle that thing in there. Did a great job.
Now, speaking of special teams, is this Warren Central still the philosophy of no punt, no kick, or are they kind of moved away from that philosophy?
Well, I watched the game that they had last week against Russellville. And to be honest, they really weren't in a situation where they needed to, punt or kick or anything like that. Most of the time, Warren Central doesn't have, a decent. They don't have a kicker. Now, a couple of years ago, it would have been like 4th and 28, and they wouldn't have punted. I remember that coach. They got a new coach here recently. His name's Mark Nelson, long-time, well-respected football coach. He was a football coach at Greenwood High School, and then when South Warren was formed, he was the first coach. When South Warren High School's only had 2 varsity football coach. Mark Nelson was the first one. And he's just a well-respected guy. He came out of retirement from coaching and decided to coach this Warren Central, and has got them off the ground. They were on a long losing streak for many, many years. And they had a victory last week, which was unheard of a couple of years ago. So these kids play hard. You got some good athletes. But they're a lot more well-coached than they were 3 or 4 years ago.
One thing, just looking at the team, speaking of Warren Central, is the numbers. I think we came up here a few years ago, and I think they literally had less than 20 kids out there. And, just watching them in the pregame, they might not have size, but it seems like it's more
more of an interest,
structured and has energy. And now that might not affect them this year or in this game, but I think it's a good foundation for them to build on in the future. Looking at the stats for Warren Central last week, they beat Russellville 8-6, and it was, if you were at that game or watching any of it, from the stats, it looks like it was an offensive struggle. Let's see. Warren Central had 67 yards rushing and 52 yards passing, while Russellville had 60 yards rushing and 80 yards passing. Warren Central was led in passing by their quarterback. I'm hoping I say his name correctly, Zariante Howard, who was 4 for 7 for 52 yards. He was also their leading rusher of 66 yards. What did you see on tape from Howard that the Wildcats will need to kind of be mindful of tonight?
Well, Warren Central on offense, you say it was an offensive struggle, but that's true. But there were a lot of penalties, a lot of mistakes. I know the stats weren't there either. Both teams play hard. I'm looking at Howard right now in warm-ups. He can launch the football just at ease. He's throwing 40 yards. If he really wanted to wind up, it looks like he could throw 50 or 60. But on film against Russellville, you easily saw that everything went through him. There were a couple drop passes and on the side. There's a couple really good receivers that they have. Jules Hyde for Warren Central number 12, had a really good catch. Number 7, North for Warren Central. He almost had a catch. I think it was just a little bit overthrown. Those guys are going to look to get into the game, but just some first game jitters, first game mistakes. But I listened to an interview of Howard on X, used to be Twitter, and they asked him about a key moment in the game. And he's just a very confident player because he responded with, "I knew I was going to get it." And you love the confidence in a guy like that. He has confidence. He wants to play. He loves to scramble. He doesn't mind throwing the ball in there. The main thing he likes to do is to roll out of the pocket. He loves rolling right, and he can make some plays with his feet while he's scrambling, and he can throw the ball as well on the run really good.
A few years ago, I felt like at times the Wildcats secondary struggled against good passing teams, but last week Davies County threw it a lot, and I feel like our secondary kind of held their own for the most part.
Yeah, well, Davis County, what they were trying to do, it was the run-pass option, which, kind of limits you. The quarterback's thinking a lot more than you want the quarterback to think. You want the quarterback to throw that pigskin all over the place. You don't want him thinking and trying to read too much. You just want him doing what he does best. So I think that was some of Davis County's fault. Now, it was their first game in that new offense with a new coach. So, Franklin Simpson, nonetheless, was able to shut it down. They had a good game plan to defend the RPO. It's going to be interesting to see how they react this week to, very talented receivers, very talented quarterback for Warren Central.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we're about 11 minutes from kickoff. We should have the national anthem in just a moment. Here from Warren Central, we'll be back with you in just a few moments to talk about Franklin Simpson keys to win and some final thoughts before the game. You're listening to 92.3 WFKN. I'm kind of going off script right now from what Tyler had because I really wasn't paying attention. I was just talking. Can you keep it, because they're going to do the anthem in about 1 minute. Can you keep it for maybe 4 minutes?
It's at 6:50. It's got 5.
Oh, I thought you said it's at 10 minutes. What time is it right now?
6:50.
Okay.
6:50 left on the clock.
Oh, I thought you said time was 6:50.
I assume, no, they're still. Usually
Okay.
you go by that.
All right. Well, just keep it for like 2 minutes, and we'll be back in just a second.
Is there a coach's interview?
Is there a coach's interview? Did he get that done this week? No.
Okay.
All right. Kaylin is here, too. She showed up. You remember her from last week? She's going to be finding on the field and help you wherever. Will you show him how to loosen that?
What?
Look at my stomping grounds.
Oh, yeah.
Look at my old stomping grounds.
Is this where – I never came here in high school, the old stadium before all this was built. Was it still right here?
Yeah.
So I know Warren East is a different – Warren East is – it's where the football field was, but I know it used to go – they turned it sideways. I never played here. I never came here until I coached.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
All right.
they weren't state
So the clock-
contenders when I was in –
Yeah, just send it back to me whenever it's done. So the clock isn't working right now. I'm hoping whenever it gets darker that it'll
Yeah.
get there. for now. It's not. Can you
And
hit
that-
overlay
they weren't-
right there?
They were decent. Central was decent, but they weren't state contenders when I was in high school.
Back here at Warren Central High School, where your Franklin Simpson Wildcats are taking on the Warren Central Dragons. Both teams looking to move to 2-0 on the season. A lot of games going on in the district. Tyler, do you have a list of some games that are going on tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I got the next week. Franklin Simpson plays Allen County Scottsville at home. Allen County Scottsville is on the road tonight to play Monroe County. Dare County is playing Caverna. Dare County is a district opponent, but they're playing Caverna in Marion County.
Whew.
Russellville is playing at Glasgow. Russellville is a future opponent. Glasgow is a district opponent. Butler County is playing at Webster County. Probably won't get an update for that game. Butler County being a district opponent, but not able to get any context there. Greenwood and Warren East have actually already kicked off. They're playing in a bowl game at Barron County. And at the end of the first, it's Warren East 14, Greenwood 7. Hart County is playing against LaRue County. That'll be an interesting score because Glasgow really put it on LaRue County last week. So I want to see how Hart County plays to see if they're down this year or not. And then Logan County is at Rossview, which is a high school in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Okay, we are about 8 minutes from kickoff. Both teams are kind of finishing up their warm-ups here. Tyler, I didn't play football, and I'm not going to pretend like I did. I played in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Here's a quick story. 7th grade. I think Adam Dobbs was my football coach, and I was the 5th string left guard. I was about 5'3", 90 pounds, and due to a string of injuries, I made the game. But you've played on big levels. What are the challenges of playing in an atmosphere like this? And what I'm talking about is, the stands are so far. Oh, well, we'll think on that during the anthem. And we'll be back after the national anthem. You're listening to 92.3 WFKN. All right. Sorry, Kendra. This started a little bit earlier than I thought they would. We'll be back in just a second. All right, the junior ROTC is walking off the field, so you can send it back whenever you want.
Do you have a way to keep stats?
I'm going to keep it on the back of this paper here.
Okay.
I'm only going to keep our stats, though. I'm not going to try to do theirs.
Pretty much.
Back here at Warren Central High School, about 4 minutes left on the clock before the game. The junior ROTC is walking off the field after the national anthem. And Tyler, one of my favorite things is going to schools that have the JROTCs that come out and present the colors, and all of Warren Central's players line the field. And I just think it's a really special thing that some schools in the area like to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it gives I love any club that you have where it reaches a demographic where that's unreached. And it seems like JROTC at all these schools gets these kids involved. And whenever you're able to get a kid involved, they have much more pride and care about their academic. It spills over into other areas as well. So I'm glad that Warren Central is able to provide that for their kids.
All right, going back to my question before we got cut off.
You're good.
About playing in an environment like this, and what I mean is, the press box way off the field, the fans, even our fans are, they don't even start till probably 40, 50 feet off the field, so it's kind of hard to get that energy and excitement up. So kind of what would you do if you were a player in this game to try to get some of that momentum to start the game?
I tell you what, you get down on the field, it's pretty quiet. I mean, you are far away from the fans, so you can't hear it. As a coach, I loved it. I love playing at a Warren East and Warren Central are very similar fields and how far away they are. As a player, sometimes you got to make sure you have artificial energy. You got to do some, other things to get people excited. So, down on the sideline as coaches, they got to make sure that they're working and making sure that everybody is excited and staying into the game and, things such as that as you go on.
Okay, with just having 2 minutes left in the game, give me one key to the game before we take one final break. If you had to pick one key from offense or defense, what would you give tonight?
Hey, score a bunch of points. That's the key as Matt Marsh was walking through here. I don't know if he heard me or if he ignored me, but score a bunch of points. Don't take it easy on them. This is a team that has fallen off. You remember Warren Central from the 80s and 90s, man. They were a powerhouse. Not so much anymore. But if you give them any life, they're going to try to take it. They're going to try to hold on to it. They're going to try to do something with that. So don't give them any life. Don't give them any life. They may make a big play. I remember last year, I think it was, where they just had like almost a freak play where they just took it and looked like they were.
Was it like the opening kickoff or something?
No, it was a boot out, and then you had a
that's
guy.
Right. Yeah.
I think his last name was Patterson. I looked him up. He graduated and just took a pass play and took off. And they got some guys. Warren Central does. If you get them in the open field, they got some speed. So harness that speed. Play your game. Don't try to take them easy. Don't overlook them. And I think Franklin Simpson can come out here with a confident victory. You don't just want a victory in this one. You want a confident victory.
We'll take one final 1 minute break and be back with game action right after this on 92.3 WFKN. All right, 1 minute. Tell her to keep it steady.
Was that Saturday?
Friday.
That's a Friday. Okay. Maybe that's why I didn't see you. I was so tired Friday.
But, we're getting 32 to Hopkinsville. I'll give you this could be able to score some points.
Yeah.
But can't East stop Greenwood? That's the question.
No, East is up on Greenwood.
No, I'm saying East stop Greenwood from scoring as well.
Yeah.
Last week really didn't show anything against Christian County.
Well, they just held them so far to 7 points. It's almost the end of the first half.
Oh, really?
You'll have to tell him how far to zoom in and stuff.
And here comes the Dragons.
Back here on 92.3 WFKN, I'm Aaron Talley with Tyler Arterburn. I'm filling in for Tyler Eaton tonight. If you were just now joining us, then you didn't hear my announcement earlier. I could not get the software to work earlier. It kept on crashing on me, so we are doing it old school tonight, so there is a slightly less quality audio tonight coming through your radio, so we apologize for that. Franklin Simpson won the toss and deferred it to the second half. It looks like Brody McAllister is going to be there to kick it off for the Wildcats from the 40-yard line, and number 6 and number 12 back for Warren Central. That is Zulz Hyde and Walter Moore. Beautiful night. You know, I was worried that we might end up being delayed for some reason because of the heat.
Yeah, heat or rain.
And that rain just kind of cooled it off a little bit. All right, here we go. We're underway. McAllister kicks it down the right side, and it's picked up by number 12. He's up to the right side, breaks a few tackles, out to the 40, and pushed out of bounds.
Ooh, and I think
So
Franklin
late.
Simpson got away with a late hit. It looked like a frustration tackle. Able to return that ball about 40 yards on that kick. It's not good coverage, not a good way to start for Franklin Simpson, but here we go. They're playing defense. Do have to get a shout out because I'm pretty sure I mispronounced who it was several times. Patrick Moss is starting at right defensive end for Franklin Simpson. I think I kept calling him the wrong name. He called me out on it, so the players listen to us every now and then. And shout out to another Donovan Dudley getting the start for Franklin Simpson as a freshman tonight in the D-line.
Hawk in the backfield with Howard. They'll fake a handoff, and Howard will go to the right side, and Wildcats tackle him up and right at the line of scrimmage. He might have got 1 or 2. Second down and 8. I don't believe I know Patrick.
Yeah, he's a.
Did you say freshman or?
No, he's a junior.
Okay.
Donovan Dudley, he's number 55. He's starting as a freshman in D tackle. Patrick's he had an injury most of last year and didn't get to play much, but he's in there tonight. A very aggressive, hard-working player.
Donovan looks to be like a big-bodied
the
freshman there for the Wildcats.
2 freshmen that are on the line. There's a freshman offensive lineman. They're the biggest on the team.
In the shotgun again for the Dragons. Howard looks to pass, gets it out. Short completion out to number 6. And that was Moore, Walter Moore. And it was good enough for a first down. Looks like they got about 10 or 11. And that was more than what they needed. So we see now that, you know, maybe short passes, kind of move the ball down the field, might be what they want to do.
Warren Central, looking at last week's film to this week's film, they look totally different. They look much more confident. They're throwing these short passes. They try to bomb so many passes, just throw them downfield. It looks like they're more patient this week.
Howard in the shotgun again. Hyde goes in motion. Howard just short pass again, too far to the right, and it goes out of bounds, intended for Hyde. You know, I was talking to one of our coaches before the game, and he said, you know, they have skill players. They have speed, and so those short passes might be
can run, but he does not like getting hit. And I think part of that, what they're trying to do is get all these screen passes in.
2nd and 10. 1 minute gone in the first quarter. Had a false start here, but Howard takes it deep, and it's intercepted by Colin Anderson. Flag on the play. Anderson breaks a few tackles. Another flag down on the right side. Anderson goes out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, so we'll see. There was a block. I think it was a block in the back, but over here might have been some kind of pass interference. That was kind of the area that it was in. I don't know if you saw it.
The official over here, he just put his hand on his head. I believe he's signifying a legal man downfield is what that is. And that's my man down there, Ricky. I want to give him a shout-out, the official. He is in his 49th year of officiating, so he's been doing this a long time and right on top of it.
Was illegal man downfield. Wildcats get the interception, but because of the hold, they'll be backed up, I think 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which was right at the 35, so they should start at the 25. All right. It's like the 25 and a half, so I don't know whether they'll say the 25 or the 26.
Yeah, nonetheless, even after the penalty, Wildcats get the football back, and they're in business. So got a long way to go with 74 yards, and so let's see what they can churn out.
The Warren Central receiver was open, too. It was just kind of underthrown, and Anderson kind of went up like a shortstop and snagged it with both hands out of the air.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Anderson tried to bait him into catching that football. He left the guy open a little bit, and then at the last second after the ball was thrown, went in and under and picked it off. So I don't know if that was intentional, but that's what it looked like.
McPherson, and I can't tell who that is on the far side.
Anderson,
in the
I think.
backfield. Anderson in motion.
The fullback.
Okay, they hand it off to McPherson. Breaks a few tackles and gets a first down. That's a 13-yard gain there for McPherson.
Well, that's actually Himshoot. Casey Himshoot. Yeah, he's number 5 starting this
Oh,
evening.
there we go. I thought it was number 6 out there.
No, they kind of look alike. That's one of the reasons I defend myself for getting so we're far away up here in this press box with this track, and at the same time, these jerseys aren't always the easiest to read, and with all the gray hairs I have. So
Wildcats once again handed off to Anderson on the left side. Breaks a few tackles. Now he's in the open, and he goes down at about the 45-yard line. Good enough for 18 yards.
Great start offensively for Franklin Simpson. 2 first downs on 2 runs. Doesn't look like they're overlooking Warren Central too much, taking it to them on the first 2 offensive plays after a turnover. I like what I'm seeing this evening.
I misspoke that time. I said he broke a few tackles, but that hole was as big as
absolutely
the Grand Canyon that the offensive lineman opened up for him there. Now McPherson's in motion. They hand it off to Himshoot for a 2 to 3 yard game right up the middle.
It's just a basic dive up the middle, and again, just trying to draw those linebackers in, and then those sweeps will open up, and as the game goes on. So, shout out to Kaysen. I mean, he's almost a utility player. He's getting reps at tight end. He's getting reps at fullback. Tonight, I believe he started linebacker. And if you're wondering, Lane Alford, he's not playing this evening due to an off the football field injury, and he's in good shape, but we'll see how he goes.
Delk hands it off to McPherson. Ball is dropped on the transfer, and that'll be a loss of 3 yards. Just kind of looked like they were mixed up on their directions there.
Yeah, and again, you have some new guys in the backfield, and it looks like one guy went the wrong way on that. You're faking the pitch, but the fullback looked like he went to the wrong side and ran into the quarterback, and that was not a clean play. And this is what you don't want to be in.
Yep.
3rd and long. Franklin Simpson, last week, 3rd and long was just so detrimental. We were not in a good situation in 3rd and long.
Delk fakes the handoff, and he'll go around the right side. He's got 5 now. He's crossed the first down, up the right side to the 20, to the 10, and he's pulled out of bounds at the 3 yard line.
Oh.
What a run from Brady Delk.
And I think that's something that we have talked about in the scrimmage that was talked about. One thing that Brady Delk brings to this game, there's a penalty, but one thing he brings to this game is that he is an incredible runner. I mean, he was used so much last year, and looks like a holding that's being brought back. And on 3rd down, I didn't see it, but
I didn't either.
That's tough. But nonetheless, a great run by Brady. He's going to be able to add that element this year.
And that's one of those situations where the hold probably didn't even have an effect on the play. I mean, he was so quickly out to the sideline that he was.
Yeah, and to the officials, some officials are trying to get rid of that. They're trying to not call it unless it affects the play. Some officials, they don't care, but it needs to be cleaned up from one crew to the next.
3rd and 16 now for the Wildcats. Pitch out to Anderson on the left side. He goes around a few Dragon players, and he's going to take it to the house. Colin Anderson, 49-yard touchdown, Wildcats.
And there are no flags on the field this time, just a simple toss in this formation where you have the L back in the backfield. And, Colin Anderson, he's got some wheels on him, able to take that into pay dirt.
There was no one within 5-10 yards of him once he broke stride there.
Absolutely not. Colin Anderson, I mean, he year to year, it seems like he's always been fast, but You can tell he's been in the weight room, and his toughness has increased. Man, he hit that hole hard.
Wildcats capitalize on a turnover, and, they had a 41-yard run that got called back, and then Anderson responds with a 51-yard touchdown. McAllister's kick is up and good. With 8:23 left in the first quarter, Wildcats strike first. They lead 7-0 over the Warren Central Dragons. We'll be right back with action here on 92.3 WFKN. All right, 1 minute.
He also got the interception, too.
That is right.
All right. Clinton County and Wayne County, I could care less about that. Oh, LaRue's up 6-0 over Hart.
I don't get nervous, Tyler, in front of students, but I get nervous putting these headset on.
Adair County already has a running clock on Caverna.
Already?
Yeah, and what's the second quarter? Halfway through the second quarter, they got a running clock. They're not as quick as they were last week at East, man. They turned that, they put that ball down and ready to kick it again.
Mm-hmm. Wildcats take a 7-0 lead over the Dragons early in the first quarter. And the Wildcats kick it off right down the middle of the field. It takes one hop, and it's picked up by Hyde. And he's no, I thought he was brought down. And he got right back up and crossed the 25-yard line, went out of bounds, but there's a flag on the play, holding on the Dragons.
Yeah.
I thought he went down the first time.
Yeah, I did. Much better coverage, but you got to bring the guys down. That's the thing about these Warren Central guys. They're gonna play hard. They're not gonna stop without a fight. I mean, it can be fourth quarter. They can be down, by a ton of points, and they're gonna keep fighting. This is a scrappy team, a scrappy group of individuals as well.
I know that first drive from the Wildcats had your lineman heart happy.
Yeah, it did. Just some easy runs, and the linemen looked like they made it easy. Some good pulls. Caden Bennett on that long grind by Colin Anderson had a great pull and was able to get out and be a great lead blocker on that.
There's Lane Alford down there in the line of scrimmage trying to coach up his Wildcats, and I think Coach Roby had to tell him he had to get back off the field a little bit.
Yeah.
Not Wildcats. Dragons back at their own 12-yard line. Backed up near their goal line. Howard in the shotgun again. He hands the ball off. Up the left side, right at the 20-yard line. That was number 10, Taylor for the Dragons. Picked up a first down.
Good little run. I don't know if he's trying to read that. One thing you get nervous about with Warren Central and a fast, dynamic quarterback is, pulling that thing and being able to run. And let's see if the Wildcats are going to key on that, make sure that it kind of holds the defensive end in place.
You almost have to have someone taking out the quarterback no matter what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hampton passes now. Just a short gain over there on the far side to number 9. Dominique Anthony for a 2 to 3 yard gain.
Good coverage by the Wildcats. Xavier Hampton on the coverage, able to come up and it was a pass play, but only gained 3 yards, and you can't beat that.
I wonder if they have strategized. Maybe they don't have as much depth on the line that they want to get more of those quick passes out instead of trying to pound the ball up the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see as the game goes on.
Howard drops the snap. Now he's taken down in the backfield by the Wildcats.
And that's one thing that you have to make sure that you're doing. If Warren Central makes a mistake, Franklin Simpson, you got to capitalize. You see so many plays from game to game where, a drop snap and you get up and you get out of position and you kind of take the play off. The Wildcats, even though it was a botched snap, man, they were still attacking. Good to see that from Franklin Simpson. Not taking this game lightly and being aggressive.
That was Patrick Moss there on the sack for the Wildcats. Brings up 3rd and 12 from the Dragons 20. Howard gets the snap, looks, now throws across the middle, and it's grabbed by number 12, Hyde. And that was good for 15 yards, and that's good enough for Dragons' first down.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, he put that ball in there, did Howard, their quarterback. Man, he can thread the needle and put that ball in some tight places. He's really improved from his junior year. I watch his junior year highlights on Huddle, which is an app for, if you're not familiar with it, it's an app for football players and football teams, and you can watch highlight videos. He has improved a tremendous amount from junior to sophomore year.
And that ball was thrown into, 2 or 3 Wildcat defenders as well, and he got it right there on the money. Howard hands it off to Hawk on the left side. Goes forward for about 4 yards. So how are the Dragons' game plan tonight versus what you saw versus Russellville? Similar, different?
Yeah, it seems like they're more patient. I mean, Howard had that interception, but other than that, I mean, they feel like it seemed like they're put together. I don't know that interception, if that was drawn up or he was called to take a shot, but Wildcats trying to keep everything in front of them. But if the Dragons can continue to nickel and dime it down the field, then I think that's what they're going to try to do.
Got 5 on that play. 2nd and 5 from the Dragons 37. Howard snaps it. Keeps it this time. Goes forward. And he's got enough for a first down.
Yeah, and that's what he did that time. He faked the ball to the running back, or he read it. I don't know which one or the other. I mean, you got sometimes where they read, sometimes where it's just a fake. And nonetheless, he pulled that football and was able to run it. And I watched some of the practice film for Franklin Simpson this week. That looked like something that they were trying to key on, those defensive ends. They were trying to be really disciplined in walkthroughs and everything, and squeezing and staying tight. But Warren Central was still able to get a run there with the quarterback.
Howard looking to pass, rolls out to the right. He's got a Dragon open over here, and it's completed for 6 yards. Out to number 7. That is Raymond North.
North is he's somebody I saw on film. He didn't have a single catch that I saw for Warren Central last week, but he looks like an incredible route runner. I think Warren Central, as they're going to go on, they're going to try to get him the ball a lot. Man, that guy can get open if he's running a post route or a double move. Wildcats have to make sure that they're keying in on him. He doesn't have the stats, but he's not somebody you can fall asleep on. That's his first catch of the season.
And North was open that entire play, and Howard was able to find him.
Yep.
2nd and 4, right at midfield. Howard back to pass again. Looks, now he's going to run to the right. Now he throws, just out of the stretching arms of North, and it'll bring up 3rd and 4.
And that's what I was talking about. Howard does not like getting pressure on him. He had pressure. I think it was Jamarius Franklin. He had Howard in his grasp, and he just kind of threw it away. That's what Franklin Simpson wants to try to force Warren Central to do many times tonight.
3rd and 4. We'll see if they look at that read option again. 3:39 left to go in the first quarter. Dragons again at midfield. Man goes in motion. Now Howard hands it off to him right up the middle, and he's brought down for a minimal loss. About 2 yards there, and it'll bring up 4th down and 2. That was number 10. Jeremiah Taylor. Oh, there's a flag on the play. I didn't see that flag.
I still don't see it.
Holding on the Dragons. I'm going to assume the Wildcats will accept that.
Yeah, they did.
3rd and 12.
It would have been 3rd and 14 or 4th and about 3. So, you're taking and pushing them back, making them try to make a mistake right here. 3rd and long is not a situation anybody wants to be in. But then again, you're almost in 4-down territory, so you don't have to try to get all 14 right here.
3rd and 14 from the Dragons' 40-yard line. Howard back to pass. He's got a man that's broken up by Brady Delk. Nice pass coverage there by the Wildcats.
Brady Delk, man, he is quick and got in there, was able to smack that football in. Now Warren Central being at 4th and 14. almost have to punt, and that's what they look like they're going to do.
The Dragons had a guy open. Brady just got there. As soon as he saw that the quarterback was set on throwing it to him, he broke up that pass. Number 9, Dominique Anthony back to punt for the Dragons. Delk back to return for the Wildcats. Here's a snap and the kick by Anthony. It's a good kick, and it hits at the 25 and will take a Wildcat bounce out to the 30-yard line.
Pretty good punt.
Yeah.
And as we talked, I talked to Tyler a lot last week. It's very interesting seeing your quarterback be your punt returner as well, but I don't think they're going to try to get Brady Delk in there trying to return too many in the open field. I think he's going to try to fair catch it or let it bounce, one or the other. But who knows? Who knows? The game time comes. He wants to be a playmaker, so we'll see what he tries to do.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Colin Anderson had 69 yards of rushing just on that first drive for the Wildcats, so we'll see if they try to get it back to him on this second drive. Anderson in motion. They'll hand it off right up the middle to number 30 for the Wildcats. Is that Crafton? No, Aiden Jones.
Aiden Jones, he's a sophomore and playing defensive tackle and fullback. You don't see a lot of combinations like that. Bronco Nagurski, if you're familiar with that name. That's a way back throwback. That's even older than Brian Talley, even before his day.
4 yards for Jones. 2nd and 6 from the Wildcats' 34-yard line. Delk will hand it off right up the middle. Is that Jones again? It is. And he gets it all the way out to the 43-yard line.
And I got to get a shout out to Aiden, too, because I messed up. You know, all these players and parents listening to me. I saw Aiden's dad at my son's soccer game. He's like, hey, you know, Aiden scored one of those touchdowns last week, and you said it was Lane. So, Aiden, nonetheless, I love the kid. He's a hard-nosed runner. He's going to fight for every yard. One of the strongest kids on the team as a sophomore. I don't know pound for pound, but he plays strong at least.
Anderson in motion again. They'll fake a pitch out to him and hand it up to McPherson up the middle. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage but goes forward for about 3 yards.
Yeah, not much on that, but the Dragons looked like they were going to key on that toss play. I mean, they've been burned by the toss, but still they're nervous about the guys running up the middle.
I will say in your defense, a lot of the bodies look similar and a lot of the numbers look similar.
They do.
So it's causing me a hard time too.
Yeah.
Anderson out wide for the Wildcats this time on the near side. They were in shotgun that time. Delk hands it off to McPherson up the right side. He breaks the tackle. He's running down the sideline at the 30, at the 20, at the 10. Touchdown, Wildcats!
Oh, when you combine
47 yards.
Power and speed, that's Blake McPherson. Oh, my goodness. Breaking tackles and then turned on the burners and ran down the sideline for a touchdown. What an incredible run by the junior.
He was hit after about 2 or 3 yards there on the far side, and he just broke the tackle and ran down the sideline all the way to pay dirt.
Absolutely.
Wildcats with all of their yards on the ground so far tonight. McAllister comes in for the kick. Snap, kick up, and it's good. McPherson with a 47-yard touchdown run to give the Wildcats a 14-0 lead with 1:18 left to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to 92.3 WFKN. All right, a minute.
Ready or not,
McAllister's with the kick out of bounds, and it'll be a flag on the play. Dragons will get the ball at the 40-yard line, 35.
I think it's a 35. That's one
So
that
many
they
rules
change every now and then, and I've not seen one out of bounds all year. I believe it's still you get the ball at the 35, unless you don't kick it to the 35, then it's a 5-yard penalty. So, yeah, the Dragons are getting it at the 35-yard line.
And I'm going to guess that was intentional by the Wildcats to keep it out of the returner's hands there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's that'd be a interesting question to ask. Looks like Lane Offer down there on the sideline is throwing in some of the signals.
Oh, yeah.
Coaching them up. I mean, you love seeing that. You know, he got injured, a senior, but still down there heavily involved in the game.
Flag on the play, false start. That'll push the Dragons back. You know, it's got to be hard, especially your senior year, watching your friends and teammates out there playing when you probably feel like you could play.
Yeah.
But for tonight, you got to sit out.
Yeah, he's a very passionate player. Good kid. Man, got a good heart. You know, I love watching him play. Love watching him, you know, seeing him in the school, which I'm at the, you know, not in his school, but seeing him around school, seeing him around the community. You know, time after time I see him doing good things and helping people out. Just a high-character kid.
Last year I had lunch duty, and Lane would always sit at the table right in front of me, and never saw him do anything that he shouldn't. So
there you go.
He's a good kind of kid. 1st and 15. The Dragons hand it off, and there's a big hole. Number 3, Hawk, up the left sideline, and he'll be taken down at the 32-yard line. That was a quick burst of speed there from Hawk.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, you know, and that's what Warren Central can do. I mean, you know, play after play. I believe Franklin Simpson is, you know, going to be the faster team, going to be got faster players overall. But Warren Central, if you fall asleep on them for a second, man, they can take it. They can take it to the house. You can't fall asleep on them for a second.
We're under 1 minute to go here in this first quarter. Wildcats still with a 14-0 lead. The Dragons are driving at the 32-yard line. Howard hands it off to Hawk again, and he falls down right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he slipped on the turf monster right there.
Yeah, you got to have a long run. I mean, most of the time you give it to somebody else. You use him as a decoy, but they gave the ball to Hawk again, and looked like you ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Only it was able to get I don't think it's even a 1-yard gain. Looks like it's right back to the line of scrimmage.
Tell you what, if I was Hawk and I ran that far,
yeah.
I wouldn't be out there to the next series.
It looks like the Dragons are going to take the quarter.
Dragons are at the 32-yard line, trying to score for the first time this game. Wildcats defense going to look to come up strong again and get a stop. We're heading to the second quarter. Wildcats lead Warren Central Dragons 14-0. We'll be right back with second quarter action right after this on 92.3 WFKN. I don't know how much time they normally take during quarters, but I'm going to guess 2 minutes. Okay, that's fine.
I don't know where they're playing, but Metcalf and Edmondson are in a lightning delay. Yeah.
Back here at Warren Central, where the Wildcats are leading the Warren Central Dragons 14-0 after the first quarter. Tyler, do you have any scores from around the area?
Just a couple. The Adair County is up 36-0 on Caverna, and that's at the half. It's already a running clock halfway through the second quarter, so that game's pretty much over. At the end of the first, it's just Glasgow 7, Russellville 0. Russellville is who Warren Central played last week. looks like an improved team. And then also Warren East is up 14-7 on Greenwood at the end of the first, right at the half.
Howard hands it off to Taylor, and he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage for a 2-yard loss. It's kind of weird watching this Dragons offense at times because they'll break a 50-yarder, and then they'll have 2 straight plays where they don't get past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean that to me that's just Franklin Simpson. You know, I'm going to keep saying it over and over. Falling asleep.
Yep.
You know, they take a play off. You take a play off here and there, and you know, they can get a long run on you if you do that. So you got to stay awake, be alert on defense every play. You don't know if the ball's coming to you, but always pay attention.
3rd and 12 for the Dragons. Howard looks to the left side. He gets it out. Pass is caught by number 9, Anthony. He gets roughly 10 yards, but they're going to be a few yards short. 4th and 3.
I believe that's Anthony's first catch. I've not heard his name any this evening. So Warren Central, I mean, they're really spreading the ball around.
Yep.
I mean, about every guy is getting it, getting to play. I mean, they look much more put together than they did against Russellville.
All right, we'll see what the Dragons here, what they decide to do on 4th and 3 from the 25-yard line. Howard looks to the sideline. He gets a different play call. And they snap the ball. He looks back to pass. Now he scrambles out to the left, but he's brought down and sacked by number 5, Himshoot.
Looks like the Franklin Simpson defensive coaches decided to bring pressure, and Kaysen Himshoot answered, got through there on the blitz, and was able to get the sack. We talked about last week what Franklin Simpson was able to do with their linebackers. They were able to walk them up, and then they would back off, and that's what they've been doing a lot tonight. They've been walking up and they backing off, and every now and then you'll walk up and then they'll go, and you're caught off guard. And looks like Warren Central's offensive line was caught off guard. Kaysen Himshoot took advantage of it for the sack.
Howard had some run to room on the left side here, but Himshoot chased him down and took him down for a sack, and the Dragons turn it over once again. Wildcats get it from the 35-yard line. Delk goes back to pass, and it's short, intended for Anderson. The Dragons had some players there right in Delk's face as he was trying to throw it.
Yeah, they brought some heat. They had some guys look like they drew up a blitz, had a blitz play, looked like the perfect person to blitz was there, and right off the edge after Brady was able to get the fake right in his face. Sometimes it stems from, just perfectly called play, but sometimes it stems from not getting your fakes good enough. And, whenever you fake a handoff, those guys, you got to act like you're running the football to freeze those linebackers. I don't know if the Wildcats did that. And, again, new backs in there. It's a learning curve.
Delk hands it off right up the middle to Himshoot, and he breaks it through the middle of the line of scrimmage for 13 yards all the way out to the 47-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. And I said it last week when Lane Alford was in there. Now Kaysen Himshoot in there, fullback 8, and he's subbing out. Aiden Jones coming in there. But when your fullback can run and get first downs on 10-yard gains, man, you're playing well. Good job by Himshoot. Good job by the big guys up front for Franklin Simpson.
I feel like Himshoot has some speed, though, for a fullback.
Yeah, a little
he
bit.
Can break it away. Pitch out to Anderson on the left side. He looks. Now he'll take it to the sideline, and he'll run out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Talking about Himshoot just a little bit more. I don't want to talk about him too much. He'll get a big head or something. I like the kid. But anyway, he's listed as a quarterback, I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a quarterback. But that's what I was saying. Utility player playing tight end, linebacker, playing everything. He's a guy, he just wants to be on the field. As a sophomore, you love seeing that. If a guy's going to work, I mean, when he's got a good motor, you're going to find a place for him. You're going to find a place.
They'll say Anderson went out at the 47, so it's 2nd and 5. Delk hands it off to Jones right up the middle, and he's fighting for a few extra yards. Big pile of Dragons there. He'll get 3 yards, bring up 3rd and 2.
Aiden Jones, as we see him over the next couple of years, again, just a sophomore as well, man, as he's going to continue going, continue playing. something I'm going to say over and over is that kid is not going to lose yards.
Yep.
He wants to get to the line of screen. He keeps those feet moving. My goodness, middle school I had him as a guard, and he's one of my best pulling guards that I had. Now that the high school they got him as a fullback, and I think he's a type of guy that can play about 9 positions on offense and excel at them.
3rd and 2. Wildcats probably in 4-down territory, but we'll have a timeout by the Wildcats. We'll take one with them. 9:28 left in the first half. Wildcats lead Warren Central 14-0. We'll be right back on 92.3 WFKN. All right, 1 minute. I brought us down for a second.
Just making sure. It's fine.
I really want something from the concession stand, but I don't want to walk that. I don't think I have enough time to walk that far.
I don't know. And I mean, with the line, you got a kid down here. You look trustworthy.
No, I don't have any cash either. I ain't sending my card with anybody.
I doubt they have cards either. Do most places got card readers?
They do like Venmo or something.
Yeah. Where even is Emma down there? I didn't even pay attention. She's on our side. I see
think
her
she's,
over there.
yeah.
All right. Ooh, got the heavy set.
Wildcats hand the ball off to him. Shoot there on 3rd and 2, and he'll get about 5 yards out to the 40-yard line. Good enough for a Wildcat first down.
Well, the Wildcats came out in as that heavy set that we talked a lot about last week, where you have everybody up on the line of scrimmage, no wide receivers in the games, and most of your running backs are big guys, big fullbacks, and they just like to pound the rock. And Case and Hempsey was able to get the first down.
Wildcats at the 40-yard line. They fake a pitch. Now Delk's going to throw it deep to Groves, and it's good enough for a Wildcat touchdown.
Ooh,
40 yards to Case and Groves, and the Wildcats have the first passing touchdown of the season. I believe it is.
Yeah, I believe it is, and oh my goodness, that was a beautiful football.
40 yards.
Man, and Groves had a great route. I saw him lined up. He was in a little tight. He's like, okay, is this going to be a pitch outside? And I'm sure the defensive backs were wondering what kind of run is this going to be with him tight, but he just ran a simple seam route. He sold it like he was going to block and just took off and caught that football for a touchdown. Great play by the Wildcats.
McAllister stays perfect on the season. Up through the uprights, Wildcats lead 21-0 with 8:51 to go in the first half. Tyler, I was going to ask you a question before we went to break earlier. As a middle school coach, what is the one thing that maybe not surprises you, but developmentally students grow in the most from their middle school years to once they start contributing in high school?
Well, it's their strength, and you got the weight room, and Coach Cheney has a great weight program. He even teaches weight class pretty much all day, and so kids are able to lift all year, not just during the off season. And if we're all athletes, and anybody interested in weightlifting, he teaches that class. That's one of the main things. And what weightlifting can do, it makes you stronger, but not only that, it makes you more flexible. If you're able to get in a squat rack, your hips are more flexible. So in football, you're able to have more power. So that's some of the things that you're able to see. But also, it's just there's more practice and there's more accountability in high school. And so you're able to get players more invested in the team as well.
McAllister kicks it deep this time. Caught at the 15-yard line. I believe that's Hawk. Brings it out across the 40, now the 45, and he's tackled out of bounds there.
I think it was number 7. It kind of looked like
North.
A lot of these guys, I'm not sure if it was or not. I mean, it could have been any of them. We say we're far away up here, but at the same time, I mean, a lot of these players in the same jersey, same color, they ended up looking alike.
That was North on the return. He brings it all the way out to the 47-yard line. So caught it at the 15, brought out to the 47.
And I find it interesting what Warren Central is doing. All of their wide receivers, none of them huddle. None of them go to the huddle. The only people in the huddle are the running back, the quarterback, and the lineman. I don't know where they're communicating, but you don't usually see that.
Howard takes the snap, rolls out to the left, now looks back right. Side pass out to North, and he gets across the 40 and tackled there. Flag on the play. That was kind of like a sidewind pitcher throwing the ball out there to North.
And that's what Warren said. There is a flag on the play way downfield. I'm sure it'll be on the offense from where it was thrown, but nonetheless, they got the first down. It could be backed up.
Face mask, it looks like.
Oh, face mask. Never mind. It's against Franklin Simpson. A lot of times you don't see the penalties on the defense from that angle.
Never mind. He reached at his face. Okay. I thought he was calling a face mask. Instead, he calls a holding.
And but Warren Central, I mean, that's one play they kind of trick y'all. And they roll out one way and throw all the way back to the other side, and they'll set up beautifully because what happens is the safeties in the defensive backfield, Brady Delk and Blake McPherson, who we say their name a lot on offense, are also playing the safeties, and they start rolling with the thrower, and next thing you know, he's throwing backfield, back to the other side of the field. All you got there is a cornerback, and he has to make a tackle and fight through blocks. So well-designed play by Warren Central. 1st
and 3 after the play and the flag. Howard looks downfield. Now he's going to rush out to the left, and he's going to be brought down once again for a sack by Hipshoot. This is at least the second sack of the night.
Yeah, it is. And, oh, my goodness, as a sophomore, he's going to try to make a player of the game as well. I mean, a great player stepping up early for Franklin Simpson. I was talking to some of the coaches that were worried about Lane Alford, and I'd be too. I mean, he's your heart and soul of this team. One of them. I mean, he's a great leader nonetheless. One of the captains. You're nervous about him not playing, but at the same time, I think it gives other guys opportunities to step up, and Case and Himshoot has definitely done that this evening.
Himshoot's playing linebacker here for the Wildcat defense. 2nd and 12, and we have another flag offsides on the Wildcats. We'll see if that's actually the call this time. Yes, it is.
Now, in high school, they don't tell you the number. They tell the coaches the number, but in the crowd and the stands and the radio booth, they don't tell us any of the
We don't get told anything, honestly.
We don't get told, but I'd be interested in see who that was. I didn't see it. That's not something I was paying attention to. I was looking at the defensive backfield, but, you got some young guys up there playing. Freshman Donovan Dudley, I think he's done a great job so far this evening. The plays I've watched him, he's held his own.
2nd and 7 for the Dragons. Howard once again gets it, drops back, looks to pass. Now he throws. Intended for number 12, Hyde, but it's too low. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
And I think that play there was evidence of how Howard can get rattled, and if he just came out of that sack, and if you make him think or get a little scared, get a little antsy out there, he's going to throw that ball a little too quick and not have accuracy on it. So Wildcats here on 3rd and 7. Wonder if they bring pressure on this play.
Looks like the Dragons have a guy on the sidelines calling the play to the quarterback, and he's also turning around and calling the play with hand signals to the receivers.
Okay.
At midfield, Dragons 3rd and 7. Howard drops back, 3-step drop, looks, now run out to the left, and he'll take off. Crosses the 50 to the 45, and he'll be pushed out of bounds. Short by 2 yards. Bring up 4th and 2.
I think this is a situation where Warren Central, without hesitation, they're going to go for it. At the 45-yard line, 2 yards to go. Yeah, you're in the middle of the field. Punt's going to maybe get you, depending on it may get you about 15, 20 yards. I'd rather, roll the dice and try to get a first down here. So the Wildcats have to be disciplined. They have to make sure that they're not jumping off sides, because I almost guarantee you they're going to have a late snap count or trying to get you to go on 2 or something like that. So you got to be disciplined. You got to watch the football, but then at the same time you got to fire off and be ready whenever that time comes.
4th and 2, and the Dragons will call a timeout. It's a big point in the game for the Dragons, and they want to talk it over before this 4th and 2 play.
Yeah, I know that's smart. You probably saw something you didn't like how Franklin Simpson may have lined up in a different way than they were expected, so called timeout. And think about it. You were talking about, the quarterback is coming to the sideline getting the plays and then going back in. What's interesting, though, there's not been a single delay of game.
Nope.
And last week, with at Warren East playing Davis County, keep forgetting who we played last week because we were on the Smurf turf, but playing Davis County, man, it seemed like every drive there was a delay of game, and that really stalled the Franklin Simpson on. I know they scored 31 points, but their drives were like, 3 of their drives were less than 50 yards. So that's interesting, that they're not getting a delay of games this evening. And there's neither game was there a play clock, and I don't know if that's a new rule where they took that out of high school stadiums. But, Warren East and Warren Central, I'm pretty sure used to have them. A lot of teams don't have them because they don't work. But let's see how that goes on as the season goes.
4th and 2, Howard back to pass. He'll get it out to number 12, Hyde. He sheds a few tackles all the way down to the 20-yard line. That's a lot more than the 2 yards they needed.
Yeah.
25 yards. Good enough for Dragons' first down.
Yeah, I think Warren Central was anticipating that Franklin Simpson was going to think a run. Franklin Simpson looked like they were anticipating a run, and Howard wasn't nervous at all, stood in the pocket and with a blitz and delivered a good football to a good route and Hyde, and he is easily their go-to guy. Yep. He had a really good catch. Just, I talk about climbing the ladder, jumping up, catching the ball against Russellville. He had a good play.
Howard back to pass again. Gets it out to number 9 at the 10-yard line. That is Anthony on the grab. Right at 10 yards. We'll see if they give him the first down.
Yeah, the Dragons are driving here, and Franklin Simpson, again, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting here. Looks like going to be a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. See if the Wildcats can make a stand.
Howard still in the shotgun. And he handed off right up the middle. That's number 3. He breaks a few tackles and gets into the end zone for the Dragons. That's Hawk. And the Dragons are on the board.
Good run up the middle. Franklin Simpson tried to sub some guys, and, guys, they're trying to be very cautious about guys going both ways this evening and, sub some of the offensive players in on defense and defensive line and linebackers. But nonetheless, it's Warren Central was able to punch it in.
That was something that I really hadn't seen him do a whole lot this game. The quarterback just turned around and handed it to the guy, and he just ran it up the middle. They've done a lot of screen passes and other short passes and runs out to the wider part of the field. They're going to line up for 2. I guess your theory is correct.
Yeah, I don't think they have a kicker.
Howard hands it off up the middle again. Is that Anthony again?
Yeah, but there's a
it's
flag.
Number 3, Hawk, holding on the Dragons.
Yeah, and that holding is such a detrimental play because now instead of having 3 yards to go on just one play, you have 13 yards to go. So not many plays that you have drawn up to go 13 yards.
And Warren Central is normally a really good soccer team, so surprised they haven't been able to find a guy that can just come out here and.
Yeah, that is interesting, and I've seen games where been playing against football teams, and they have a kicker that plays soccer, but at the same time there's a soccer game going on, so they have to get some random guy. I don't know if that's the case this evening, but he could be for one, but they didn't kick it off.
They're lining up to kick it this time.
Never mind, and that kid ain't a soccer player.
Number 62, kick is up, and it's no good, but we have a flag on the play. I don't even have a name for number 62. Roughing the kicker on the Wildcats. So that will take it back down to the 2 or 3, or will that be half the distance?
I think it'll be half the distance because that's it's a 15-yard penalty and you're inside 15 yards. So, yeah.
Sorry, number 62. I do not have your name on my roster. But after that penalty, it took him right back out.
Yep, and now they're trying to go for 2 again. That's interesting. You try to kick an extra point that's farther back than
kick it from here.
And then now, they trying to change out the football. They had to try to get a kicking ball in there. Now you're trying to get the football, the playing football back in there. And
now there's a different football for kicking?
Yeah, there is. You want to get your older football back in. You want to get an older football that's more worn, it's softer. You want to get
something every game.
There you go.
Dragons lining up from the 7-yard line to go for 2 again. Howard drops back, looks to the left. Now he'll scramble out to the left. He's going to try to go all the way, and he gets in for the 2-point conversion. So after all that, 2 flags and back and forth, the Dragons' 2-point conversion is good. With 5:38 left to go in the first half, Franklin Simpson 21, Warren Central 8. We'll be right back on 92.3 WFKN. 1 minute.
Sorry, Aaron.
Coach dropping some knowledge on you there.
I never heard of the guy. Ooh, Butler.
Number 62 for the Dragons kicks it down to the 20-yard line where the Wildcats pick it up. And I believe that was McPherson. Brings it all the way out to the 35. And there's a hurt Dragons player on the field.
Looks like 2 of them. They're getting up, so that's a good sign.
A lot of these guys probably play both ways for the Dragons. And on a hot night like tonight, might get some cramps.
Yep.
Wildcats take over from their own 36-yard line with 5:33 left. What are you looking for the Wildcats to do here on offense?
Simply put, score. You got plenty of time. They got how many timeouts they got? I think they got
2.
They got 2 timeouts, I believe. They took that one on defense, I believe. But you got plenty of time. Be patient. Run your offense.
Delk hands it off to Himshoot, who runs into the referee there in the center of the field. He could have had a few more yards, but nonetheless, he'll have 9. We'll bring up 2nd and 1 for the Wildcats.
And that's interesting. That brings up another point. I mean, you see a lot of officials, what you call the umpire, what I've always called the umpire, if there's another name for it, I don't know it. But they've always been there in the defense around the linebackers. And the guy down there, he's been doing this for an awful long time. I don't know how many years he's doing. I don't know his name, but I know he's been doing it at least 30 years. And old school wants to be in there with the action, but a lot of guys are back there with a white hat.
Delk hands it off again this time. Wildcats players hit the line of scrimmage. I wasn't sure if that was Himshoot or McPherson. We'll see who
That's
that was.
McPherson.
It was McPherson. He was playing out on the wing. They ended up giving Himshoot 10 yards on that previous run.
Yeah, and he got the first down, didn't even measure it. Got up there, looked at the lines, and said, let's keep them moving. And again, you got 4.5 minutes left. I mean, Franklin Simpson can run this clock out for the half, and they can get another score in. Just, be patient. You may take a shot. I don't think 2nd and long is where you take a shot, but you could.
Delk hands it off to Anderson on the end around. And he'll go all the way down to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, there's a flag. So I don't. I'm sure
the line
that's
of
going to be
scrimmage.
holding again, so can't imagine it being anything else.
So that was going to be a 15, 20-yard run there for Anderson. Instead, it'll be holding on the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's tough, and a lot of times you get those sweeps, and you're trying to get outside, and guys are using their quickness, and the offensive guy sometimes doesn't have as much quickness, so you can't get out there, but you got a 10-yard penalty, and this is a tough situation. Now, I mean, second and very long. Franklin-Simpson could take a shot. I'd try to get as many yards back here as you could.
Wildcats back at their own 38. Second and 18, I believe. Now they'll pitch it out to Anderson on the near side. He'll cut back to the center of the field, and he'll be dropped for a short gain of 4 yards.
Good little run by Colin Anderson, but just didn't have much there. And I've talked about him before. I like what Colin does. He mixes it up and has a great balance of burst and running. I think Blake McPherson does too, where they have some plays where they just take off and the hole's there or not, and then some plays they're a little bit more patient. It keeps the defense on edge. And that one, Colin was trying to be patient, not much there. And, he got as many yards as he could.
Anderson on the night has 4 carries for 78 yards. 3:15 left to go in the first half. Wildcats still lead by 13. They hand it off to McPherson on the left side. He breaks the tackle, and he's brought down short of the line to gain.
And the Wildcats were in a shotgun formation, and I think everybody out there was saying, okay, they're going to pass. It's 3rd and 14, and they just hand off to your great back and Blake McPherson, and he's able to get them into business where Franklin Simpson can go for it on 4th down, 4th and 4.
It's a little bit more manageable than 4th and 9 or 10.
Yeah, 4th and 9 or 10, you're punting in this situation, but that run put them in business to where they could go for it.
I'll say the Wildcats will probably run this one here. It's been their strength on the night so far.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll go on 2, but Warren Central got a little nervous and called a timeout.
2:23 left in the first half. Wildcats up 21-8. We'll look at a few stats so far in this first half. Blake McPherson has had 5 rushes for 61 yards. Anderson 4 rushes for 78. Aiden Jones 3 rushes for 16 yards. Hemshoot 5 rushes for 41. Brady Delk 1 of 2 for passing for 40 yards and a touchdown. And receiving, Groves with a 40-yard touchdown reception. So most of the Wildcats' yards on the ground as per usual.
How many passes has Brady thrown?
2.
Just 2, so he's 1 for 2. I remember last week, that game went on forever. We were on the air about 3 hours until about 11:30. So many incomplete passes. You're not seeing that as much this week. I think, the Wildcats are not trying to take as many shots. They know, we've known for years the bread and butter is running the football, and I think the Wildcats are sticking to that.
Wildcats hurry up to the line. Delk fakes the handoff now. He gets it to Groves.
That's close. You sure that's Groves?
Why did I say Groves? I had Groves
That's
on my mind. That was McPherson. Groves is the one that caught it.
That spot that the officials have is right on the line. I think, they're going to have to measure this, but the Wildcats did, and 4th and 4, they came out in that heavy set. Now, Blake McPherson as well. We'll see if the Wildcats are on offense or defense, but nonetheless, Blake McPherson is going to have to take a play off because his helmet came off. That's a rule that the KHSAA came up with a few years ago for player safety. But
if there's a stoppage in play, though, like this, why do they have to take a play off?
Still do.
It looks short from up here. We'll see what the official call is. It's
right
short.
On it, yep.
And the Wildcats will turn it over.
Just by inches. Just by inches. Now, you got 2:18 left to go in this. I think Warren Central still has 1 timeout, if I'm counting correctly. They're going to take some shots, and they got some guys on the outside that can run routes. North is getting coached up by some of his coaches. Number 7 for Warren Central. He's an incredible deep threat. Number 12, he's switching sides. He's been on the left side most of the night. Hyde. Wonder what those guys are going to do. At Franklin Simpson, you got to be disciplined. You got to be disciplined.
Have a short stoppage in play, trying to get the chain set.
Blake tried to sneak on the field, and they had to kick him off.
2:18, Dragons from their own 46. Howard back, looks, steps up in the pocket. Now he'll run. Across the 50, and he'll run out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Smart play by Warren Central and Howard. Getting out of bounds. I mean, managing that clock well. You don't see a lot of high school players, get that opportunity to do that. But Howard is, he's a senior, been playing quarterback for a couple years, and he can launch it. He's a smart guy.
I will say, just watching this first half, this Dragons team is much improved over the past
absolutely
5-6 seasons.
Yeah, this is not a time for Franklin Simpson to want to, give up anything. They need to be disciplined right here, very much so. Big drive.
Howard back to pass again. He looks deep. Now he throws deep across the middle, and it's dropped by number 24 Hampton to the Wildcats. That was, right in his hands.
Yeah, man, you couldn't have thrown it better to him if you were Brady Duck throwing it to him wide open, but had it right in his hands and went through, and that would have been a big play for Franklin Simpson. Now it's 3rd and about 2. Let's see if Warren Central looks to get a first down or if they look to take another shot.
And we have a fumble on the snap with a flag.
I think you're going to call snap infraction, yeah.
False start.
So I think you had guys moving, and the ball wasn't snapped. Quarterback was wanting the ball, and then he finally snaps it and fumbles it. But nonetheless, I think he got a break for calling it a false start.
Those kind of mistakes are something I think that, as this Dragons team continues, as their program continues to build, those are things that they'll try to, work out the kinks. They've got more players on the roster. They've got, an improved offense. I think that's the next step for them is penalties and kind of those missed opportunities on offense and defense. 3rd and 7 from their own 47. Hampton looks. Now he'll throw it over here.
Double pass.
And we have a double pass. Down the field, wide open, and it's caught by number 12, Hyde. The ball was passed over to Anthony on the near side, and then Anthony passed it down to Hyde, who called it at the 17-yard line. That was a gutsy play call there, Tyler.
Yeah, and that you've not seen many double passes. I can't remember the last time I've seen a double pass like that where the wide receiver, it just scoots back and tries to make sure he's behind the quarterback, and it ends up being a ladder, but almost looked like a pass. So you freeze some of the defensive backs. They think, okay, I got to come up and tackle, and then Warren Central was able to throw it downfield.
Wildcats need to stop here. Howard gets it over to Anthony again, down to the 7-yard line where he'll be pushed out of bounds.
And, there's a helmet that comes off, so he'll have to come out of the game. But, just going back to that double pass, that's a play that usually you don't put in until about halfway through the year. You try to make sure you get your offense ready to go, but looks like this Warren Central offense, the players have been at enough practices and developed enough to where they are able to, have a play like that in. Now you got the officials calling a timeout for some reason.
The Wildcats called a timeout.
Oh, they did?
Defense, yep.
Okay, I didn't see it.
As someone who didn't play football at the same level as you, that seems to me like a play that takes a lot of guts for a coach to call.
It does.
In a game like this with this situation.
It does, but you call plays like that at the perfect time. That was the perfect. And again, you want to call plays that players haven't seen before. That was I've not seen a double pass like that, and I don't know how long. So a lot of the players on Franklin Simpson's defense, you don't call trick plays and reverses as much as you used to, because most of the time it's a busted play anyway. But they can still make an impact, and Warren Central showed that. And one of the reasons you have to make sure it's executed correctly as well. And again, yeah, that's what Warren Central did. I mean, second game of the year to
Yeah.
have a play like that put in and run it so seamlessly. I mean, that shows that this coaching staff has done a good job. And summer, it's hard to get guys there to practice, but you know that shows the dedication of the players to have been at practice, and you know to have this offense so far developed that you can run a play like that too. That's just impressive for Warren Central.
And you know, running a play like that gets the guys kind of motivated on offense as well for the
Yeah,
Dragons.
gets them a little juiced as well. I mean, they're excited. They're ready to punch it in. And, you know, I said, you know, before the game, one of the main keys is you cannot give them life. You can't give them hope. You can't give them life. And if Warren Central is able to get a score and just be down one touchdown, they think that they have life.
So there was a timeout here. Anthony tried to come back on the field. They told Anthony to go back off the field. So I guess even in a timeout, that rule still applies.
Yeah, I don't think that's right, but that's what the official went with.
2nd and 2 from the 9-yard line. Hyde takes it around the right side, and he'll get enough for a first down to the 4-yard line.
And that's just a simple jet sweep. And hey, Warren Central, what they're going to try to do, just being inside the 10-yard line, goal to go. Or they got a first down. Now it's goal to go. They're going to try to run out as much clock as they can and not give Franklin Simpson any. They're going to take their time. They have it. They want to make sure that they get a good play drawn up to go score.
If I'm the Wildcats, I'm going to key in on Anthony over here on this near side. It seems like they've been trying to get him more involved in the
And he's out
game.
very wide, so you got to be thinking slant route.
Yep.
But the cornerback's not in position for it.
Howard hands it off right up the middle. That's to number 3, Hawk, and he'll walk in easily for the Dragons touchdown. That's both touchdowns that the Dragons have had right up the gut that they've scored pretty easily on. I don't know if the Wildcats are expecting something different or what, but the Dragons have scored pretty easily both times.
Yeah, I don't know if there's life in that sideline, the players, but it's definitely life in this in these stands. These fans are excited for Warren Central. A good crowd. I mean,
yes.
I mean, for Warren Central football in years past, I mean, this is a good crowd for them. And a good round, loud applause as well.
1:03 left in the first half, and the Dragons are going to go for 2 again. Howard gets the snap. They'll hand it off back up the middle to number 3, Hawk. And it's good. So Wildcats deficit's cut to 5 here with 1:03 left. And the Wildcats defense is kind of got some issues that they're going to need to get worked out in this second half with the pass coverage and just a few other things.
Yeah, that's the type of thing I was talking about. I mean, if you fall asleep at any moment, the Wildcats came out hot. I mean, going up 14-0 like with no issue, and now this quarter's been 16-7. With Warren Central's advantage, they're very much so into this game. Yeah, the coaching staff for Franklin Simpson ain't going to be happy at halftime. I can guarantee you that.
Now, how intense are the Wildcats trying to score with a minute left? I mean, are you just trying to run a few plays, see if you break one? You just happy going to the half with a 21-16 lead, or?
Well, they got one timeout, I believe. So, I mean, I'd take a shot. A lot of times what coaches do is they kind of see what the mood is of the team, and they'll run a play that could hurrying up. So you kind of test it out on the first play.
Dragons kicker kicks it short, and it's caught by Jones at the 30-yard line.
It looks like Jones slipped on the return and wasn't able to get many yards. Wasn't going to get too many anyway from what it looked like. But
hey, Tyler, what's 62's
during
last name? It just kicked it.
But here the Wildcats are in business to see what they decide to do with 70 yards to go with 1:01 left in the half.
The kicker for the Dragons is Justin Bell. I want to get his name because he's kicked it a few times. Wildcats will start at their own 31. 1:01 left in the half. Hand off to Anderson, right up the gut. And he's stopped for a minimal gain and thrown down on the turf.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of talking about. That play, you know, it's you hand off to Colin Anderson, who's your speed back, and if he's able to shimmy his way in and get a first down or get a long run, then you kind of think, okay, let's hurry back up, let's clock it, let's kill it, but, you know, they didn't, so the Wildcats, now they're coming out in shotgun, so maybe they're taking a shot.
Delk rolls out to the right side, fakes a pass. Now he'll throw one deep, looking for Anderson. And Anderson's got it at the 30, 20, 10, and it'll be a touchdown, Wildcats.
Well, that improves the mood. Oh, my goodness. I mean, everybody looking, you know, I was over here just, right, you know, being depressed, and Colin Anderson changed my mood with an instant. What a football. What a throw by Brady Dowd. I mean, he had a pump fake back there looking like John Elway. Oh, my goodness. What a play to get Franklin Simpson back in the driver's seat of this one. Oh, my goodness. With just 17 seconds, I thought, you know, they're just going to run it out. I think Warren Central was thinking that too. Oh, my goodness.
69-yard touchdown pass.
The character of these guys. That shows just true character. You know, you're beaten down a little bit, and you're coming back, and you're going to fight. Great play by Franklin Simpson.
Kick is up, and it's good. So the Wildcats, you know, I thought they, after that first run, it almost looked like they were content with maybe just going to the half with that 5-point lead. Next thing you know, Brady rolls out to the right, pump fakes, and throws one deep for Anderson, who was running down the sideline.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Just what a play to change the mood of this game. Now, score. Then after that on defense, hey, get some turnovers. Let's open this thing up. Let's not make this close. Okay, let's get a little bit more comfortable. That's what you want to do this second half.
About 3:40 left to go in the first half, and just want to take a moment to tell you all that even though I'm filling in for Tyler tonight, this is not my main gig. I am in charge of Franklin Simpson Channel 9, and I saw your comments about no sound in the live stream. Just want to remind you all that we have students working these games, and sometimes they make mistakes, and we want to encourage them to keep bringing you all Franklin Simpson broadcasts for free every Friday night. So you should have audio back now. So just wanted to let you all know that it seems that we've got that fixed. There's just one button that kind of gets hidden on the computer that mutes all the audio, and that happens. So I'd like to apologize, but I'd like to say thank you to the 3 students who took time out of their Friday night, left school at 4:30 to come up here and bring you all the game tonight. I can see the statistics of people where they watch from. It's really amazing about how many people watch from different parts of the country. Yeah. Wildcat alumni spread out who still tune in on Friday nights to watch their Wildcats play every night.
Yeah, and I know, kids like Ezekiel Eberhard. I mean, he moved in I think 7th grade from, I believe it's another state. I don't want to misquote it.
I think it was California.
I think it was California,
yeah.
But I didn't want to misquote. And I know he's got, family that listen. I've heard that they listen. I've seen you all comment. So we do appreciate it. I appreciate you tonight, Aaron. I mean, Aaron, if he's over here trying to do play-by-play, and then he's got a student right beside him that's doing a great job, but this is only her second game, and he's answering her questions that she has, and you're doing a great job with this double duty. I appreciate all that you do for the kids. I'll
give you a perfect analogy. My commentary tonight's like a burger from Cookout, and the next week y'all are going to get a nice double quarter pounder from the best burger restaurant in town. You just have to tough it out tonight listening to me.
Hey, as long as I get to play the role of Waffle House, I'm all right each night.
About 1 minute left in the halftime period, and they'll take a few minutes to let the players warm back up on the field. So we'll take one final break and be here with second half action right after this on 92.3 WFKN. All right, give me 2. All right, I'm ready whenever you are. Back here at Warren Central High School, where your Wildcats have a 12-point advantage over the Warren Central Dragons. And, Tyler, it could have been a 5-point advantage. I thought the Wildcats were going to run it out there. And is offensive coordinator Marsh, is that correct?
Yes.
Called a pass there to Colin Anderson down the sideline to give the Wildcats a bit more of a cushion leading into the second half.
And what that looked like as well, it was one of those situations where you get them in the huddle. You're about to go out. You get them in the huddle with the coach in there, and you call 2 plays at once. Look, they called a little dive to Colin, and they didn't change personnel. They didn't change personnel at all, but they didn't huddle, and they got right into that shotgun formation seamlessly. That's something that you haven't seen in this offense, where you can just completely, change formations with the same personnel, the same exact players. Now, some of them may have been a little out of position, but nonetheless, to get your goals accomplished, they didn't have to sub. So, shout out to the development of where this Franklin Simpson offense is at this point in the season. I gave a lot of praise to Warren Central because of that trick play being so seamless, but it's not easy to transition formations like that so seamlessly either for Franklin Simpson. Great job by the Wildcats.
Looking ahead to the rest of the schedule coming up, the Wildcats get their first home game of the season next Friday night versus Allen County Scottsville. So encourage you all to come out and support your Wildcats. Only 4 home games this year, so it's kind of a weird schedule. We have a home game, then 2 away, then 3 straight home games, and then finish with 2 away. So it's kind of a different season.
Yeah, well, hopefully Franklin Simpson can run through the district and get several home
That's
games
true.
in the playoffs, and that'll make up for it and make everybody happy.
I don't know what we have to do, where we have to do it, how we have to do it. I just don't want to drive to Union County again this year.
That was a good barbecue, but
yeah.
A lot of coal, a lot of coal field, coal and corn, and that environment was different too. My goodness, I'd rather not go there either. I don't think anybody wants. I've never heard of anybody in my life saying they want to go to Union County. No offense, to anybody from Union County. But
I doubt they're watching.
I've never heard anybody say they want to go there. So hey, let's be at home at Shade Tree Matthews Stadium where we're comfortable.
Wildcats won the toss at the beginning of the game, and they deferred, so they'll receive the ball here to start the second half. And Bell will kick it off for the Dragons. Boots it down to the 25-yard line. Crafton there.
That was Jones. Again. Yeah, they kind of look alike, and you got that 5-0 that Jackson Crafton wears, and you got that 3-0 that Aiden Jones wears. And then these jerseys, and with as far away as we are, they kind of look alike.
That, or I need to go take a visit to Dr. Wilkins again.
There you go, yeah. Hey, we got the same eye doctor. Shout out if you're listening, Dr. Wilkins.
Wildcats will start at the 37. I think this is an important drive for the Wildcats. They scored late first half. If they could score again here, that really kind of opens the game back up to where they were.
And this is a drive where, you can take some shots, but I like to run with a little fullback and some hard-nosed football with the Franklin Simpson Wildcats.
Wildcats hand it off to him, shoot, and he's tackled behind the line.
It looks like the Dragons were ready for that. It looked like the lead blocker was able to get through unscathed, but the Dragons closed pretty quickly. They're coming out fired up. I mean, that's what we were talking about. They have some life. That last play before the first half didn't scare them too much, obviously. So the Wildcats got to know that. They have to be focused. They have to make sure that they shut them down in this half if they want a smooth sailing from here on out.
Delk under center. McPherson in motion. Delk back to pass. He throws it deep to Anderson again, but he overthrows him. Anderson was open, just was 2 to 3 yards out in front of him, couldn't catch up to it.
Yeah, good. You gave him a chance to catch it, but maybe need a little air on it, and I think Collins trying to argue with he got held or something. I don't know. He's talking to the official. Maybe so. But nonetheless, I mean, we're again in a 3rd and long situation.
I think, though, even though that wasn't completed, now it's in the Dragons' mind that, hey, they can throw it deep.
Yeah.
So it kind of stretches out that defense from packing it in so much. Delk going to pass it again. 2 straight plays. He throws it down and it's picked off. Picked off by the Dragons' number 6, Moore, and he returns it back to the 47-yard line.
And just as I was talking about before half, Franklin Simpson hadn't had a turnover, and you see some Warren Central fans. Not only are they clapping, they're standing up. They got energy. Yeah, I hope the Wildcats didn't think that this team would lay down because, they're playing like they have nothing to lose. I mean, this is a turning point game for them. They want this win to be a turning point after a big solid win Franklin Simpson had last week against Davis County. They can't let up here in the second half.
Dragons take over from the 42-yard line. Howard back to pass again. Passes down over to Anthony. Anthony dropped it. It was in his hands, and he just dropped it. That would have been a nice 15-yard gain for the Dragons.
Yeah, it looked like they were in a simple zone coverage with Franklin Simpson, but gave him way too much cushion. I don't know what they were doing. You got to be over top of that. It wasn't even a combo route or anything. You got to be ready.
Well, when teams give some guys cushion, does that kind of indicate they don't want to get beat deep, or what's the?
Yeah, a lot of times, but he stopped his route. He wasn't running a double move. You could already tell at that point.
Howard hands it off to Hawk, and Hawk's got a big run up to the 20-yard line.
There's a flag. It's going to be holding. I think the defensive end, I think it was Moss, if I'm correct, was getting held for a while. And a lot of times if you're getting held, they're not going to call it unless you fight off. So whoever it was, it may have been Jackson Gass. I couldn't really tell with the number. Both of them are fighting out, scraping out, and if you try to do that, then you're going to get that penalty call. So great job. Way to fight out. Way to keep going.
That flag occurred at the 36-yard line, so with the 10-yard penalty, we push back to the 46-yard line for the Dragons. 2nd and 14.
That was a big penalty. I mean, this is trying to be talk about this. The Dragons want this to be a turning point game for them. This is a turning point drive, and that was a big penalty to put them back at 2nd and 14. Don't fall asleep, Wildcats.
Howard back to pass. Looks, now he passes down the middle of the field, and it's, should have been picked off by Delk. It looked like it hit his hands and his helmet, and it dropped to the ground. It looks like he started running before he caught it all the way.
Yeah, I see. You used to have, I saw one guy one time, he caught a football in his face mask. Now, that looked like a perfect opportunity. Now they make face masks where your eyes are more covered. There's less coverage there. But, yeah, I believe that with the way that ball was thrown, that would have landed right in Brady's face mask. He's upset by it.
Yep.
You got to play this play, though, big guy.
3rd and 14. Dragons going to pass again. Howard's got time now. He'll roll out to the right. Throws it, and it's short and incomplete. We'll see if the Dragons go for it here. Maybe if they would have got a few yards there, they would have, but they're going to decide to punt it away to the Wildcats.
And that was it looked like a pretty good ball, and Howard gave him a chance to catch it, but nonetheless, just a little too short.
That's a big break for the Wildcats. The Dragons had it down to the 20.
Yeah.
Then the flag kind of stopped the Dragons' momentum. 4th and 14. Anthony back to punt for the Dragons. Had a good punt last time. Punts it down the field. Another good one. That's Delk back there for the Wildcats. And he'll take a Dragons bounce at the 10. And it's going to be down at the 7-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. That was a pretty punt. Looked like it was going straight out of bounds and just on the turf was able to curve back in and bounce. You couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Good punts like that can be weapons on your team if executed correctly. And that was a good punt from Anthony there.
The Wildcats are, I believe, I don't have my notes from last week, but I believe this is going to be the farthest they have been pinned back in this short season with 93 yards to go. Yeah, it's tough to go 93 yards. So the Wildcats, you got their work cut out for them.
Trying to get where I can see around this window here. McPherson in motion. Wildcats handed up the middle. That is number 30, Jones, who gets 7 on the carry.
That was a good run to open the drive. Nothing crazy, just run the offense. Good hard-nosed run, and good job for the fullback to get 7. Almost that looks like two and a half.
Yeah, they called it 8.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 yards, right in there in the middle. But good run, get you a little bit more breathing room up to the 11 or 16.
Delk once again hands it off to Jones right up the middle, and he'll take it out to the 25-yard line.
Good run again, just keeping it simple. Looks like Warren Central is not interested in Jones tackling Jones, and I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be either if I were them. He is a hard-nosed, old-school fullback. Just run straight ahead. You talk about different fullbacks. Man, he loves contact. He wants to run somebody over. Again, can play almost any position on offense. Just a great player overall.
1st and 10 from the 25. Delk hands it off to McPherson. McPherson's got a big hole, and he's tackled at midfield. Gain of 25 on the play. No one touched McPherson as he broke through the line of scrimmage.
And sometimes we get that play where we have that fake toss, and sometimes it doesn't work. But I believe it's because the fakes aren't carried out well. On that play, I didn't know who had the ball, and then all of a sudden you see Blake squeeze through there and get a long gain. That's why these guys not running the football, you got to make sure you're carrying out those fakes. It is a game changer.
Wildcats moving the ball easily on the ground right now. Delk hands it off to Jones again, up the middle, and once again gets 7-8 yards on 1st down.
And Aiden Jones is making a name for himself. Give him the 1st down. They're kind of looking at it, looking at the spot, and the white hat comes up there and says, "Move the chains." Good job, big fella. A lot of times you get 3 big runs like that in a drive. You're over there tapping your hat, but I don't know if Aiden Jones is ever, if he's going to do that, man. He's loving this moment right here.
Wildcats at the Dragons 41, 1st and 10. Delks tossed out to McPherson. He's got room on the left side, all the way down to the 23-yard line. Big gain of 18 yards there for the Wildcats.
And that's a situation where Blake just used his patience and was waiting for blocks to set up for him. And it looks like Warren Central has a player down. Looks like it doesn't look like anything from this vantage point too strenuous. It just looks like a cramp. So.
Sorry, I was attending to a question there. What'd you say?
It looks like there's an injury. It looks like it's a cramp.
7:52 left in this 3rd quarter. Wildcats driving, and you made a mention of it's hard to score a touchdown 93 yards away, and Wildcats are proving so far that, just give the ball to Jones and McPherson, and it's easy work.
Yeah, that first offensive drive, and some of that defensive drive, no, this is just a 3 and out whenever the Warren Central got the ball. But it looks like, Franklin Simpson was, they didn't come out ready on offense, and maybe trying to do too much, trying to see if you can take a shot. And, you want to do that every now and then, but, it looks like this drive, Franklin Simpson is dedicated to doing what they do best, and that is running the football. Hard nose, running the football, and then whenever you get that hard nose running the football, you toss it out to some of your speedier guys, and they're able to make plays for you.
Taylor was the injured Dragon there. He's up walking off the field.
Won a final in the area, early game. This is at Barron County, but it's a game between Greenwood and Warren East. Warren East, I think in an upset, Warren East upsets Greenwood.
Wow.
21-14, so 2 future opponents. As this non-district opponents, but 2 future opponents for the Wildcats.
I don't know how much Christian County has this year, but Warren East looked impressive last week.
They put it on, and Greenwood's usually been solid. So
Wildcats have it 1st and 10. They'll hand it off to Anderson. Coming near side. He's at the 20, at the 10, and he's pushed out of bounds. They'll see him out at the 14. So carry of 8 yards there for Anderson.
And looks like Warren Central has another injury. Looks like to be another cramp.
Look like number. Oh, there's a flag. I didn't.
Number 7. Oh,
see
I
a
didn't
flag.
see a flag either. Oh, and a beautiful
Holding. Oh
holding
man,
penalty.
that wipes off the run for Anderson.
I said I wasn't going to say this as much, but this is my yearly request to take holding out of the game of football, or at least make it a 5-yard penalty.
10 yards is just.
It's detrimental. I mean, and it's too much. You get a false start on a play, and that's 5 yards, but you hold a guy's jersey, and that's 10 yards, and now you got double the distance to go, and sometimes even more, because if you hold, like this one is 1st and 22 because somebody held behind the line of scrimmage, and it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, almost as much as a personal foul, and that's I wish I have no power or authority over any rules of football, but it seems like something that would make sense to change.
While we've got a break in the action, I just want to, I know we're on radio right now, but also you all are listening to us on Channel 9. I just want to say that, how blessed we are at Franklin to have a radio crew, film crew, 3 students bring every game of every football season to you all. We go to schools in Bowling Green. There's no radio crews. There's nobody filming, nobody streaming. I mean, you just don't get stuff like this in many other communities like Franklin, so.
Yeah, I don't see any students with a camera or anything for Warren Central, and you see plenty of them for Franklin Simpson. So,
and thanks to the sponsors on WFKN who help support the radio station and help bring Wildcat football and basketball and all the other sports to you guys at home. Delk hands it off over to Anderson on the left side, and he will take it to the house. Colin Anderson, 32 yards. Wildcats were backed up 1st and 20, and Anderson said, I'll take that penalty yardage and add more to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see a replay on that. I have no idea how Colin got through. It looked like, okay, he's going to get a yard or two, and then all of a sudden it looks like Barry Sanders and pops out and come out of nowhere, and they're in a touchdown. Great run by Colin Anderson, his 2nd of the game. And an interception earlier in the game. He's putting together quite a resume for this one.
I think he's trying to work for that Pelicans player of the game trophy.
He smells the snowball from where he is.
McAllister puts it through the uprights. Wildcats stretch their lead out to 35-16 with 7:08 left in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back. You're listening to 92.3 WFKN. All right, 1 minute. Did he have a run for a touchdown earlier too?
Yeah, he had.
Which run was it? Do you know?
2nd drive. That was a 49-yard one.
Okay.
First Franklin Simpson drive.
So 2 touchdowns, and then he had the reception touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, Delk to Anderson at the end of the 1st. Yeah, it's his 3rd touchdown.
Yeah.
His 2nd rushing. And then you had Delk to Groves, and then McPherson got a touchdown. The Raiders, hearts all over LaRue. LaRue looks like they're awful.
Back here at Warren Central, McAllister boots it down the field, and it goes out of bounds again. So there'll be a flag on the play. Dragons will take over at their own 35.
So Colin Anderson, I said that was his 2nd rushing touchdown, and then an interception, but you can't forget as well, he had that long receiving touchdown right before the half. So, oh my goodness, he's putting together a game.
Wildcats have scored 14 straight here. Now lead 35-16 over the Dragons.
We'll see how Warren Central responds, if they got any air left in them.
I don't think this Dragons team is one to give up.
No,
what I've seen so far tonight. Howard will go back to pass again. He'll scramble out to the left side. Now he'll try to run. And he's crossed the 40. Now he's out to the 48-yard line, maybe out to the 49, and he'll get 13 yards on that. He just kind of waited and waited and waited and then took off.
It's been in the past a very weak area for Warren Central. They've usually always had athletes, really good athletes, but a weak spot in the past has been their offensive line. And they got some size down there, does Warren Central. And they can play as well. Oh my goodness, they gave Howard plenty of time. See if Wildcats try to bring some pressure. I mean, he had none on him.
Nope. 1st and 10 from the Dragons 49. 6:30 left to go in the third quarter. Howard in the shotgun for the Dragons. Gets the snap, looks, now rolls out to the right. Still looking, and now he'll just take off. Crosses the 45 and slides out of bounds. Pickup of 6. Another flag. I didn't see a flag that time either. Is that what they said?
I think they said slide down.
Slides. Okay,
slides down, not flag down.
I thought he said flag down. I was like, I didn't see
it. It kind of sounded like that, but he slid down, and that's a thing that you don't see in high school near as much, but it's a smart play to protect your body as a quarterback. You just slide, and then you don't get hit. You don't take those big hits from those.
And if you do, you get 15 extra yards.
Yeah, So, it's clean play.
Dragons have it, 2nd and 4. Howard going to pass again. Now he'll throw it deep. And it's just out of the Dragons receiver's reach.
And
I can't see, that's number 7. North, they try to get it to. Hampton on the coverage for the Wildcats.
And it looked like Howard just threw that one a little bit too wide. I think if North is going to get the football, he's a great route runner, as I said. You want to see him something in the middle a little bit more like a post route, and I think he can burn some guys. But, just a straight go, that's a little easier to cover.
Big third down here for the Dragons. They have it at their own 46-yard line. 3rd and 4. See if they pass again. Howard back to pass. Quick pass out to the right side, caught by number 11. I don't have his name written down. That's his first catch of the night.
Yeah, no, it looks like Howard. I think that's about the 5th or 6th guy that he's thrown to, just spreading the ball around very well. Very well this evening. And this is going to be a game for him. I know they've only scored 16 points, but he's going to, when he goes into huddle and is creating a highlight film, he's going to have some from this game. The way he's able to roll out, make plays with his legs, and he's had more confidence and moxie in that pocket than, I've seen from him in the past. He stood in there and just threw that football. And the line for Warren Central is doing a great job as well.
That was Dakota Hunter on the reception for the Dragons. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. And we have a flag on the play. Or is that a timeout?
Yeah.
Delay. There you go. You were saying there wasn't any of this game, and then we got one.
Yeah, and that's not a time where Warren Central won it, which it was just first down. But I'm surprised there hasn't been more. He's given them plenty of time.
5-yard penalty backs the Dragons up to the 44-yard line, where they have it 1st and 15. Man in motion. Howard fakes the handoff, and he'll take it right up the middle where he'll get a nice run out to the 36-yard line.
Warren Central looks like they're putting in a nice drive so far. That's 29 yards on 5 plays. There's not any big plays, but they're just trying to march down the field. Franklin Simpson, the defense, is not getting any pressure on the quarterback. This offensive line is handled. I don't know if Franklin Simpson's gassed, if they don't have much energy left, but we'll see what if they can blitz or bring pressure or get some subs in, but it's just not working right now.
2nd and 7. Howard with the ball. He 3-step drop. Now he'll scramble out to the left. He's going to run it. Across the 35 to the 34. Just a gain of 2 or 3 on that play.
Again, I mean, the coverage is really well. I mean, the coverage is doing good, and so Howard's able to run, but I mean, he's able to get 4 or 5 yards past the line of scrimmage before anybody comes to meet him.
Another third down for the Dragons. This time they're at their own 34-yard line. Howard in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Look to the left. Quick pass out to number 12, Hyde. And we'll see if he gets enough for the first down. He stretches out to the 26-yard line. And that'll be good enough for a Dragons first down. It seems like Howard is having a lot of time and open guys on those just 1 or 2 step drops and then throws it out.
Yeah, that out route. And one of the reasons that's so successful is most teams in high school football, they run a cover 3, or this is a cover 4, where your cornerbacks are going back deep and trying to stop the deep pass, and then your outside linebackers are expected to get to the flats. That's hard to do. That's hard to do in this with these spread offenses, and Warren Central's taking advantage of it.
1st and 10 from the Dragons 26. Howard back to pass again. He looks. Now he'll scramble out to the right. Now he'll pass. Complete. And the Dragons player went down at the 21-yard line. And that was Hunter on the reception again. 2 receptions on this drive so far for Hunter.
Looks like, Warren Central, Frank Simpson was able to get a little bit more pressure, but not near enough. And the Wildcats have not blitzed any this drive so far. They're getting some subs in on that defensive line, trying to create some pressure organically. By organically, I mean not blitzing. So, and looks like there's a timeout.
Timeout on the field. Dragons will take a timeout. We'll take one with them. 2:38 left to go in the third quarter. Wildcats lead Warren Central 35-16. You're listening to 92.3 WFKN. 1 minute, please.
Allen's got a running clock on Monroe.
A few years ago, Franklin played over at Monroe. First game of the season. And we drove over there and went to it. This pretty neat little stadium over there.
Yeah, we used to play there a lot. They've done a lot of work on it. That's not where their school is either.
It's not?
No, their school is like 3 or 4 miles from there.
Oh, that's right.
I think their middle school might be, but I'm not sure.
Back here at Warren Central, where your Wildcats have a 35-16 lead on the Dragons. The Dragons are driving. They have it 2nd and 5 from the 21-yard line. Dragons still in the shotgun where they've been this entire game. Howard looks, passes it out, and it's dropped by Hunter. Hunter's had 2 receptions on this drive, but he dropped that one.
Yeah, and it looked like it was right to him, but he wasn't able to hang on to the ball.
Another score from the area. I don't know if you've read this one already. Bowling Green 35, Owensboro 14 in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I've seen that update, but I will tell you, Allen County Scottsville at the end of the 3rd already has a running clock over Monroe County. They're up 40-0.
Wow.
So Allen County Scottsville coming in next week will maybe be a little bit refreshed getting this 4th quarter off.
3rd and 5 after that incompletion. Let's see what the Dragons do here. Howard, delay handoff to Hawk on the right side. Flag down on the play. Hawk gets down to the 5-yard line. Looks like it'll be another hold.
And that's just a draw play, and it was called at a really good time, but sometimes you get offensive linemen that kind of get out of position, and whenever you're out of position, you're not able to move your feet, and so you just naturally grab onto a guy because you don't want your guy to get hit, and there's a holding penalty.
Seems like the Dragons have been plagued with untimely penalties here tonight.
And they've overcome them from time to time, and this has been a long drive. But I don't know the time on it, but, I mean, this is going to be the 9th play, and it just seems like it's taken a while.
After the penalty, it's now 3rd and 11 from the Dragons' 23-yard line. Howard back to pass. Quick pass out to this side to Hunter. And he's going to be wrapped up by 4 or 5 Wildcats after a short game.
It looked like a helmet came off from a Franklin Simpson player, so they'll have to come out for a play. And
that was Hunter.
Oh, no, that was Warren Central player. They both have white helmets, so couldn't tell who that was. So that's big because Hunter's caught a lot of those out routes on these 4th downs. Now, this is a little bit longer, so you're at 4th and 6. Those out routes have been on about 4th and 4, 4th and 3, so see what Warren Central has to draw up on this play. They're not going to be able to run what they, have been in the past. So maybe just a design run of some sort to Howard.
This is a big play for the Dragons.
Yes, absolutely.
1:39 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Howard takes it, drops back, looks to the left. Now he'll throw across the middle, and it's caught. First down for the Dragons.
So it looked like Franklin Simpson was keying in on that out route, so you just throw it to the guy in the middle. And good patience, good moxie by Howard. And he's played a very impressive game. Nothing like crazy flashy, and not like he's put in a 80-yard dime or anything like that, but, just patient, putting the ball where it needs to be, finding the open guy, reading the defense. I mean, it's a pretty impressive game for this quarterback.
I didn't watch the game film, but just looking at the stats, this has been a bit of a surprise how well the Dragons have passed the ball here tonight. This time Howard hands it off to Hawk, and he'll get forward for 3 to 4 yards.
You're talking about the game against Russellville. The final score was 8-6.
Yep.
Warren Central won that game. Only had 1 touchdown. Howard had like 66 pass yards, but that game just went quick, and there were several penalties, several turnovers. Warren Central did not play very disciplined against Russellville offensively. They've cleared up a lot of those things. They had some big plays. I mean, they had some playmakers, but they weren't spreading the ball around a lot. I think that's been a focus this week, and it's paid off.
2nd and goal from the 5. They'll hand it to Hawk, and he'll go straight forward again for Dragons. Oh, I thought it was sure it was a touchdown. They'll say it was down at the half-yard line. That's what they've done in the past 2 touchdowns. They have ran it right up the middle, and that's how the 3rd quarter will end. They'll flip the field 99 yards, and the Dragons will have it on the doorstep, trailing by 19 points. After 3, Wildcats lead 35-16. You're listening to 92.3 WFKN. All right, give us a minute again. Yes. For them? That was Anthony.
It's the longest drive of the game by far. They had a 10-yard drive earlier. This is a 12-yard drive.
Allen's had 2 really easy games.
What is it?
Allen's had 2 really easy games.
But still, man, they've not messing around.
I mean, Marion County and Monroe County, but the Marion County game, they scored like, 3 consecutive punt returns for a touchdown? See, that was
3
weird.
consecutive what?
Punt returns for a touchdown.
I know. Allen did?
Yeah, that was weird. Very weird. You don't see that very often.
I watched it. I'm glad we're not going over there this year.
Well, that's next year. That's next year.
I guess.
It's time for the 4th quarter at Warren Central High School. The Dragons have it at the 1-yard line, looking to punch it in. and cut this Wildcat deficit. Dragon players are bunched up at the line. They'll hand it off to Hook, and he's taken down to the backfield, and he fumbled it.
Oh, my goodness.
We'll see what the call is. I don't know if they'll say he was down or not. And the Wildcats come up with it. What a huge turnover.
Coach Cheney and Coach Roby are going out there. They were about to jump on the football themselves if their players didn't. Oh, my goodness. No idea who recovered it. I don't think we'll ever know. May ask Coach Cheney who got it in the post-game interview. But, oh, my goodness, with the backs against the wall at the beginning of the fourth quarter, Franklin Simpson defense responds. I mean, that was a 12-play, that was a 13-play drive with that play. And just the longest drive of the game, and it was taking forever. But bend but don't break was the Wildcats' mantra, and they have the football back. Now they have to go 95 yards. Last scoring drive was 93 yards. You're going to get 2 extra. Hopefully the Wildcats are able to punch it in. Play your football. Let's get it in.
Wildcats starting at the 5-yard line. Handoff to Jones, who goes right up the middle, and he'll be sought for a short gain. Zeke Eberhardt had his helmet knocked off over on the. He put it up on before I think any ref could see, it.
I think the back judge kind of says it, but a lot of times your back judge, the guys with the play clock, they're usually your newest guy out there, so I guess they don't want to butt themselves in. Yeah, Zeke got away with his helmet coming off, and he's able to stay in. So, strap that thing a little tighter, big guy.
Speaking of Zeke, we did have family member comment from California, said they were watching us tonight. So
all right, so we were right.
Wildcats handed off again. I can't see who that was that got the ball. That was McPherson. No, Hemshoot for no gain. Hemshoot's past 2 carries have gone for 0 yards both times.
So now the Wildcats at looks like a 3rd and 7. So you're in a manageable situation. It's not 3rd and too long, but let's see what the Wildcats draw up to try to get a first down. It's not 4-down territory. So
Delk over to McPherson on the right side. He's got enough for the first down and more. He's up to the 30, out to the 33-yard line, and that was a big carry there for the Wildcats.
And so that's just a simple toss play out of that L-back formation. By L-back, I mean you got a fullback right behind the quarterback, and then to the right or to the left you have a running back. And all they do is the quarterback just tosses it out. That play has been ran many times these past 2 games and had a lot of success. As the season goes on, I want to see if the Wildcats are going to build off that play. And they have in the past. They kind of fake that toss and get a little pop pass to a tight end or somebody like that. But that's something we'll see as this season goes on.
Wildcats have it at the 34. Now this time they'll hand it off to Anderson on the near side. He's looking for a block, and he'll trip on the turf and fall down after a gain of 3 on the play.
Looks like Xavier Hampton is coming in. He's been playing cornerback this whole game, and looks like he's coming in as one of the running backs and had an incredible block out there on the edge. And Warren Central has a defender that's down, again, looking like by the position of the player being attended to. Looks like another cramp.
We'll look at a few stats from the game while we have a break in the action. McPherson has 135 yards on 9 rushes. Anderson has 114 yards on 7 rushes. Jones has 47 yards on 7 rushes. Hemshoot has 41 yards on 7 rushes. So the Wildcats are spreading it around to those different backs, give them each a chance to kind of change the momentum and tempo that each of them rush at.
Yeah. Looking at some, scores and some updates. Very thankful for other radio, guys on radio in the area sending messages and keeping us updated on their game. We're very fortunate because there's been a couple games in our area that have had, of all things, lightning delays, and we haven't even seen a storm cloud roll in. So very fortunate to be where we are. I don't know where they're playing, but Edmondson and Metcalf were in a lightning delay, and then playing up in Marion County, Caverna and Adair County, they just called that game after Adair was up 36-0 after a lightning delay. So just very fortunate for this beautiful weather that we've been provided this evening at Warren Central High School.
Ready to go again, 2nd and 7. Delk rolls out to the right. This looks like a design run this time. He'll get right at the line to gain, but we'll have a flag coming in from the back.
Yeah, it's coming in from the back, Judge. Usually he's not the one calling holding. He'll call a face mask more often than not. So, but it could be. And it is a hold. He's usually not in position to call that. That's not his call. But anyway, he did.
And that was right at the 44-yard line, so it should take the Wildcats all the way back to the 34.
And that's the second time Franklin Simpson has ran that play where Brady looks like he's faking out. And I saw that play on Facebook. I think North Dakota State ran that play, and I was talking to some of the coaches, hey, you should run this, or, oh, I saw a cool play, and they're like, yep, we put that in this week. So I guess we were seeing the same video.
Wildcats back to the 33. Anderson in motion. They'll fake it to pitch to him, hand it to McPherson. He breaks one tackle. He's up across the 50, across the 40, across the 30, down to the 20, down to the 10, and he'll be pushed out at the 3-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Blake was trying everything he could to get in the end zone. Oh, my goodness, what a run. And he had an incredible juke move in the open field. A Warren Central defender was in his way and did that little stutter step and was able to get out, put his foot in the turf, and, oh, my goodness, run about 30 more yards. He wanted to get in that end zone. He was trying to smell one of those Pelicans snowballs, trying to get his case for a player of the game again this week. He's the one from last week. Oh, my goodness.
With that 60-yard rush, McPherson has 195 yards on 10 rushes, 19.5-yard average per carry.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What a game. What a game. It's going to be tough. Coach Chaney's the one that picks the player of the game, so he's going to have a time picking them. Now the Wildcats are in that heavy set.
Wildcats down to the 3-yard line. Delk hands it right up the middle. I believe that's Jones, and it is, and it's a touchdown. Aiden Jones, 3-yard touchdown for the Wildcats.
Aiden Jones, his first touchdown this game. Looks like, I believe his third on the season. Make sure Mike Jones doesn't give me a hard time. His third on the season. Way to punch that in there, big guy. He's been running the football hard. It's kind of one of those situations where you got a guy running the football hard. You want to make sure he gets a score.
McAllister on for the kick. It's up and good. McAllister just solid on the kicks for the Wildcats so far this season. Wildcats now up 42-16. with 8:56 left to go in this game. You know, Tyler, I thought the Dragons at several points tonight almost had the momentum and had a chance to maybe make this game interesting, but the Wildcats have responded each time, whether that's getting turnovers or, scoring quickly. I feel like the Wildcats have been able to kind of negate some of that momentum that the Dragons had.
Yeah, and what I saw was the Wildcats right before the half, the turning point. It's an early season, so you can't say a turning point for the season, but a turning point definitely for this game was right before the half. You had every opportunity to just go, being down. It was 21-16. Franklin Simpson could just fold it and let's run the football. Let's drop the pass. Let's not play hard. Let's just end the game and get our Courtney Benton potato chips and. But man, they responded, and that shows a lot of good character. I know these guys. I've coached almost every one of them. They have great character. I couldn't be more proud of how they've responded this game.
McAllister once again kicks it out of bounds. Well, it seems like the Wildcats are just happy with the Dragons starting at the 35 and not giving them an opportunity for a return.
Yeah, and you play in the field position game but you don't want to give a guy a chance to return one for, good distance. So, put it in play, and you got 65 yards. to go on this drive. You know, the Dragons have shown, for the most part, that they can't get a good deep play. So I mean, just play. Field position isn't too big of a deal.
8:56 left to go in the game. Howard drops deep again. He looks. He's got someone deep, but he doesn't throw it to him. Now he throws it, and it's going to be short. He had North wide open at the 35-yard line, but couldn't get away from the Wildcats' rush to get it out to him.
In North, he's a sophomore. He's very quick, but something with his route running that, later on as I became a fan of football and understanding football, you're running a go route. You don't want to be pressed to the outside because that doesn't give your quarterback a lot of room to throw the football. And, he's lining up about 5-6 yards from the sideline. He's outside the numbers. And you got to squeeze in a little bit on that go route if you want to give your quarterback a chance to go. And that's something he'll learn as he grows.
2nd and 10. Dragons moved early, no call. They'll hand it off to Hawk on the left side, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
I don't know who made the tackle, but Jamarius Franklin was there, did a great job fighting off that block at defensive end. But still a pretty decent gain for the Dragons.
It seems like that far sideline is so far away.
It does.
It's hard for me to see clearly what happens over on the other side away from us.
I mean, I don't know. You can't really tell on Channel 9 or, but if you're here, I mean, we are good. Like the field from the track is a good 20 yards, and then the track's about 10 yards. So we're about 40 to 50 yards from the sideline. So.
Yep. Dragons pass again. This time they complete it. I think that's out to number 11, Hunter.
Oh, is that a turnout?
Sorry, that was the number 12, Hyde, at midfield. Good for a first down.
Oh, Franklin Simpson coaches were yelling something. I don't know if they were chewing out players or if there was something illegal or a drop pass. I don't know what it was, but they're not happy over there.
Seems like the Wildcats will go on to win this one here tonight. Looking forward to next week, they'll have Allen County, Scottsville coming to Franklin for the first home game of the season. Howard looks, passes it again. It's up in the air and tipped, and it hits the ground.
Well, that's one of the plays. You try to be aggressive. Was Blake McPherson as a defensive back trying to go up at the tackle, but if he was a little bit more passive, which you never want anybody to be passive, but if he was, he probably would have been having himself an interception off that tip.
Second and 10 from the 50-yard line. I also have to give a plug for the marching band competition at Franklin Simpson next Saturday night. I've been working with the band some, and I know those kids would love to have you guys come out to the Franklin Stadium there. Dragons hand it off to Hawk, and he'll be tackled in the backfield for a loss of 3 yards.
Yeah, and that was a draw play, and the draw play caught Franklin Simpson off guard, and that looked like Jackson Evans on the tackle, a sophomore getting some action. He's getting in some special teams and some things like that, but he made a play, man. He made a play, reading that defense, reading what was going to happen, and getting there. And oh my goodness, way to respond for the young fella.
3rd and 14. Dragons have it now. Howard drops back, looks to pass, throws it across the middle, and it's caught by Hyde, and he'll have enough for the first down.
And that looks like another Warren Central player's down, and Caden Bennett's helping him up. Good sportsmanship. It's like Hyde is coming out. He took a good hit, and man, these Warren Central guys, they don't have a lot of, they got better numbers, but they don't have a ton of guys that are going both ways. But you're just impressed by the character of, or they don't have a lot of guys going one way. You're just impressed by the the toughness of some of these kids.
1st and 10 from the Wildcats' 36-yard line. Howard looks, now roll it to the right. Now pass out to Hunter, and he'll be pushed out of bounds.
Another tackle by Jackson Evans from a middle linebacker spot, coming in and getting in coverage. And That was an out route. So, I mean, that's wasn't even his coverage. Looks like the Wildcats are changing up their defense just a little bit and trying to run some man-to-man to stop some of these out routes.
Looked to me like Case and Himshoot might have came up gimpy a few plays ago. I don't believe he's out there right now.
Yeah, must have been Jackson in there for him.
2nd and 6. Howard drops back. Another quick pass out to number 7, North. And he'll be hit hard by the Wildcats defender.
And there's a penalty, and looks like it's going to be holding. And I think that's one of the reasons why some of the coaches on Franklin Simpson sidelines have been upset, because there's been a lot of holding, and they've let them play on a lot of plays, but then again, they call a bunch back. I think what the coaches are trying to say, I mean, you called some of those on us. Hey, let's call some on them more than anything. I think, if you're letting both sides play, then, that's fine. But if you call one side, you got to call it on the other.
Penalty backs the Dragons up to the 44-yard line. 2nd and 16.
The clock just keeps ticking away.
Mm-hmm. Howard in the shotgun for the Dragons. Hawk goes in motion. They'll hand it off to Hawk. And he'll be tackled in the backfield. Aiden Jones.
Oh, my goodness. What a play, a gritty play. If you had a Pelican snowball, you a lot of times give it to the guy with the best stats, but I like what John Madden used to do, where he had a all-Madden team, and he gave it to some gritty guys and some guys that are tough. If there was an all-Madden award, if I had a turkey leg or something to give this evening, I'd give it to Aiden Jones. Man, he has made the tough plays this evening, and right there using his quickness and his strength to get in the backfield. What a play.
Loss of 6 takes it back to 3rd and 20. Howard's going to pass again. 3-step drop. Now he'll roll out and complete the pass. Out to number 6, Moore, who gets it across the 30-yard line.
Oh, and that's just a little bit short. The officials on one side of the next look like they have different spots. And
there they go.
Now they're evened up.
It's going to be 4th and 3 from the 30-yard line.
See what Warren Central does, if they want to continue going to that out route, or if they're going to try to catch the Wildcat sleeping.
Snap it to Howard. Out route out to number 6, Moore again. I believe it's enough for the first down.
And again, just another simple out route that is, it's not really broken the back of the Franklin Simpson defense, but it's given the opportunity for Warren Central to, as you say, nickel and dime, just short pass here and there. Not trying to really go for the big play, just trying to get these short passes down the field and then try to get yourself in a position. Looks like Warren Central is just, they're okay with that. And they've been very successful at these out routes.
3:25 left to go in the game. Howard drops back, looks, now he wants to take off. Comes near side. Now he's grabbed by a few Wildcats and taken down at the 17-yard line.
That's already the 8th play of this drive. And, the Wildcat defense, a lot of them going both ways. A lot of them, you got freshmen out there. And, I don't see anybody that's not going both ways, or a freshman or sophomore on this defense. I see one player that's a junior going one way. So, this is a true testament to their, to their will right here. How much do they got in the tank left?
Howard hands it off to Hawk. Hawk near side, runs it in for a 19-yard touchdown. Hawk went untouched, 19 yards to the house.
And that's Hawk's 3rd touchdown. Just like Franklin Simpson's Colin Anderson had 3 touchdowns. Hawk got his 3rd. rushing touchdown. Now something to look at. Number 60 from Warren Central is the center, and his helmet, that's about the fourth or fifth guy to have their helmet come off. His helmet came off. So on this 2-point play, you have to go with a new center. So we'll see what the snap looks like. You don't have time to get practice snaps. So and the guy that's going in is going straight to the ball. He doesn't know the play or anything. He's a little bit frazzled. So let's see if he can get it together and get a good snap for Warren Central on this 2-point play.
What are the chances that this play is successful with a brand new center? We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is have one good flick of the wrist, and the rest is written for you.
Dragons once again going for the 2-point conversion. High snap. Howard hands it off, and that will be taken down in the background, in the backfield. Yeah. Not a great snap there.
And that's an example right there. Football, there's so much about it. I mean, you can draw up X's and O's, and that's what the fun element. I say fun element. It's not fun if you're on the bad side of it, but the fun element of watching a football game is the psychology behind it. You coming in fresh, you're not ready, and then you have a bad snap. I mean, the physicality goes out the window. The what you know goes out the window. I mean, it's just something you see over and over. It's a beautiful game, a beautiful thing to watch this game of football.
Truly is a team sport.
Absolutely.
One snap can affect how the rest of the play goes on from there. 42-22. Wildcats are going to move to 2-0. Central is going to move to 1-1. If I'm a Central fan, I'm encouraged about how they've played tonight. If they can clean up a few of those penalties or turnovers, I think they could grab a few more wins on this season. Continue to build on what they've done so far.
I think this is the fourth time I've called a Warren Central game, and I don't think they've scored this many points. I mean, in any of the games I've called for them, they're putting it together. I mean, this is Coach Nelson laid a great foundation, and I think but Jeremy Harness is the coach now, and he's getting guys in position, and they're playing aggressive. They're wanting to play. They're wanting to be here. He's making football exciting and fun. I mean, even at this point, these guys look like they want to be here and they want to play.
Dragons attempting an onside kick, and McPherson will grab it there at the 50-yard line. Kick was from Bell for the Dragons. Wildcats probably just content just to run play clock all the way down to 0 on this drive.
Yeah, I'm sure the Wildcats are going to come out, and I don't know if they'll come out in their heavy package. It looks like Case and Hemshoot's back out there, so that's good to see. But I see Case and Hemshoot and Aiden Jones in there, so I'm assuming this is going to be a lot of ground and pound and run out this clock and go back down south 31W.
Delk hands it off to Jones right up the middle, and he'll get 7 yards on the first down carry.
And a lot of times Aiden wants to run, and he wants to run over somebody, and that time he was a little patient, found a seam, and still ran over somebody, but 4 or 5 yards downfield and able to get a good 7 or 8 yard gain on the scoreboard. It says 2nd and 2. I think it's 2nd and 3.
Yeah. 2:30 left to go in this game here. Wildcats looking to ice this game away here on their final drive. Delk to Jones again, right up the middle. He'll get 2 before he's brought down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
One thing I like saying, this heavy package, it's just an old school. You got basically 2 tight ends, but you essentially have 7 blockers, 7 linemen up there, and just pounding it in there. One thing I like seeing is the linemen, as soon as the ball, even when the ball snapped, they're trying to push guys and help them in there. You got extra blockers. Jackson Gass, who's been playing linebacker, where number 58 is coming in as an ineligible tight end to get some extra solid blocking. So You're just trying to run the ball. Is no question about it. But who has more toughness? And the Wildcats, time after time, this is a great formation.
Wildcats hand it off to McPherson this time, and no one's going to touch him. He'll take it to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Now that's one that Blake, he busted through there, and that's one in film. He kind of jogged to get to the end zone, so I'd have liked to see it a little bit more burst all the way through, but nonetheless, he was able to get in. I'm sure he's been playing most of the game on defense too, but, oh, man, that's a good run nonetheless. Wildcats go up 48-22 with an extra point oncoming, just 1:26 left.
With that carry, McPherson now has 236 yards on the night.
My goodness.
Snap to McAllister, and it's through the uprights. Wildcats lead by 27, 49-22. Tyler, I know that we don't get to pick the player of the game, but as it stands now, who would you name your valuable player for the Wildcats tonight?
I mean, are you going stats or touchdown? I don't know.
Well, however you want to take it.
That's a question I'm thinking out loud. I mean, Colin Anderson has 3 touchdowns and an interception, but Blake McPherson has had incredible runs and over 200 yards. And Blake got it last week, so I'd say Colin. Usually don't want to give it to the same player, but I'd say Colin's going to end up getting it. If I had to make a prediction, who would I give it to? I mean, several of them. Several of them did good, and I'm, very proud of this Wildcat team.
Speaking of running the ball, I think I saw an article that former Wildcat Trey Bass ran for over 300 yards for Campbellsville the other night.
Go Tigers. Get that plug in there. Go Campbellsville. That's my alma mater, Coach Cheney's alma mater. Trey Bass still playing football for Campbellsville University. He ran over 200 and had a couple passes.
Okay.
As Campbellsville University defeated Pikeville as the game was expiring over in far eastern Kentucky.
Kickoff was grabbed by North of the Dragons, and he's taken down at the 17-yard line.
What a great tackle. Who was that?
Number 29. I don't have that number. Let me find it.
28. That's not one I have to memory.
I don't have 28 on my. I don't have number 28 on my roster right now.
I'm going to look it up because that was a great tackle. And Coach Cheney came out there, and he is excited as well by the tackle and just had a great play. I'll look him up here in just a second on the KHSAA website. I don't have him either.
Jeremiah, no, that's last year's. Jeremiah Foster last year. I'm not sure who that is.
I don't think Jeremiah. Give me just a second.
Oh, I got it right here. If you want to find it on here.
It is Jerion Williams.
There we go.
I remember seeing.
Howard passes out here to the flat. Intended for North, and North drops it. It almost looks like they were trying to do a trick play again.
Yeah.
It was unsuccessful. Who'd you say the name was? Jeremiah?
Jerion.
Jerion
Williams. Now, Jerion, he's a player, and he's not that big. I don't know what he's listed on the roster, height and weight, but it's not much, even soaking wet. But Coach Shane, I went in the weight room a couple times earlier this spring and just wanted to see the guys and be around football. And Coach Cheney talked about him and was just impressed. I mean, for a small guy, he can put up some weight. And I'm glad to see him out on the field and making plays. Coach Cheney really likes the kid.
Howard keeps it this time. Coming near side on the run, crosses the 35, out to the 40 before he's pushed out of bounds. Nice run there by Howard.
Now it looks like the Wildcats are have their JV defense in there for the most part. Got a couple guys in there that we're starting and just trying to get out of this game injury-free and save some guys and, just see what happens. But, great work by the Franklin Simpson, and I think it's just going to be a couple more plays and we'll be heading home.
before we end tonight, I want to give a shout out to our Channel 9 workers, Kenzie, Emma, and Braden, for their hard work tonight, bringing the game to you all so you can watch at home. Howard's going to run again. Comes near side, crosses the 40, down to the 35, and now he's pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Another big run for Howard.
That official wanted to make sure that that everybody knows that he was tackled in bounds, and that can be the last play of the game. I think that's what Warren Central is okay with doing and closing this one out.
Wildcats will move to 2-0 on the season as they defeat the Warren Central Dragons 49-22. We'll be back to look at some stats and talk to Coach Cheney and our Pelicans player of the game right after this. You're listening to 92.3 WFKN. All right, give me a few minutes to tabulate all this.
Do you want to do the interview?
Sure. I don't care.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Do you want to? Do you feel all right doing it?
Yeah, I can. If
You want me to do the player and then you do Cheney?
I don't mind.
Or you can do both of them.
If I'm here, I'll do both. I
Okay.
got to think of what I
I'll
need to ask
I'll
him.
get you the stats in just a second.
Oh, you want me to do stats?
No, I can do the stats. But like if you want to bring them up during the game, during
Okay.
the interview, you can.